a safe space to express all the reasons they chose to get up off the MAGA plantation. So if you happen to be one of those Trump supporters, who regrets their vote, you're tired, you're over it, and you want to join the side of the angels and leave the plantation, request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you are over on the tube side, and you do not regret your vote, or either or, you may call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. What up, tubers? What up, tubers? Welcome into the stream. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Thank you guys for knocking out the skiff goals. We're going to continue to get it reset on these little 1 cent thingy-majiggies until we get boosted out on the FYP some more. If you haven't sent your daily heartbeats, please make sure you're doing that as well. They changed so...
God bless you.
They changed so much. I have to do extra stuff now to set this goal. What is happening? I don't like TikTok sometimes. I don't like it sometimes. But I do want to get into some immediate news. Before we talk to the Trump supporters. Supreme Court says Fed Cook, or Lisa Cook, one of the governors on the Federal Reserve Board, can keep her job for now, but it upholds other Trump firings. The Supreme Court on Monday dramatically expanded presidential power, upholding President Donald Trump's firings of the heads of independent federal agencies with one important exception, the Federal Reserve. The justices allowed Fed Governor Lisa Cook to stay in her job while she fights the Republican president's effort to fire her over allegations of mortgage fraud, which she has denied. But other than at the nation's central bank, with its role of setting interest rates, the court held that presidents have free rein to fire. Why did I just lose where I was at? To fire agency heads at will, despite federal laws that require a cause for such dismissals and a 91-year-old decision that had limited executive authority. I believe that was, 1930-something. With the 6 conservative judges in the majority, the 9-member court jettisons its unanimous decision in Humphrey's executor that had limited when presidents can fire agencies' board members, in part to try to ensure decision-making free of political influence. Quote, "We hold that such protection from removal is contrary to the separation of powers enshrined in the Constitution," Chief Justice John Roberts wrote for the court. So, here's more and more reasons, this one specifically, as to why the Trump administration is doing exactly what they ran off of, which is basically a revenge tour and trying to create or get more political enemies. And this is why you, as a Trump supporter, should regret your vote. This court ruling just set a dangerous precedent for future presidents, or in general for America, when any president, for a political beef you may have with an individual or a head of an agency, to fire them. Mind you, the 1930-something ruling that SCOTUS decided on, and that just trumped here and there, was for the purpose of, you have to have a reason, you have to have a just cause to fire someone. It has to be because of their ability, it has to be because of some nonsense, right? You can't just fire them just because. And now, this ruling just says, we don't care. Get rid of them. So the Trump administration was just given free rein to do exactly what he's already been begging to do so far, which is fire people solely based off the fact that he doesn't like them. Trump supporters request up in the box. We have our first guest. You can call the number on screen over there on the YouTube. Tito, did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
And do you regret your vote?
No.
I think you should, based off the case I just mentioned.
Wait,
I think
why
the next.
Are you chipping out, bro?
Can
why are you acting like an ape?
Engage in the Oh, you just came up here to be racist. Is that the
why,
best you have?
Why are you chimping out,
You
bro?
just came up here to be racist. That's the best you have.
Why are you acting like an orangutan, bro?
I want to give you the floor. I want to give you the floor one last time, because there's a few Trump supporters listening in. Before I go down the route that they're going to really hate, this is your opportunity to represent them in a much better light than you have so far. Would you like to make an intelligent argument? Would you like to make an intelligent argument, or are you just going to keep being racist?
Why are you aping out, bro?
Damn shame. Damn shame. Well, that's the base of the Trump supporters for you. The best that they have is racism and slurs and misinformation and disinformation. Yay! What a wonderful start. As I was saying, the Trump administration now can just go after people who they deem to be unworthy, who they deem to be liars, who they deem to be participating in Antifa business, because, Donald Trump's new thing is Antifa, even though it's not a centralized organization of anyone. And then they can just go get up out the paint. That's what we have to deal with going forward. And this is why Donald Trump's Supreme Court justices have been destructive. Destructive. Let's move on to the next one here. Thomas, did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Wait, didn't I talk to you before? Get up out of here. I love how they think that bothers me. I love how they think that bothers me.
What's up?
Forever Kate?
Yeah.
Broken heart?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Kate.
Not that it's any of my business. Who is Kate?
I just told you, rest in peace, Kate.
I asked, who is Kate?
Friend.
Sorry about your friend. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah, when he first became president, I didn't vote this time.
Why? Why is that?
Because I was in jail.
Thank you guys for the follows. Because you were what?
In jail.
Oh. Okay. Do you support the actions of this administration?
Nah, not really.
Cool.
When he first became.
You are not the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. Good for you. Good for you. I guess we will entertain Sully. Sully, Donald Trump's recent Supreme Court picks and their recent ruling only supports the political weaponization of the executive branch, despite Trump running off of that being utilized against him, specifically under the Biden-Harris administration, with the ruling doing away with the barrier that had to be reached, which was proving this person was incompetent or destructive to the department or agency or the nation. They can now just fire people at will for any other reason but their merit.
It sounds like your host rules, right? You just kick people whenever you want, right? Because it's yours. It's all about you, but then you cry about that kind of behavior. It's interesting. Hypocrisy.
Trying to compare my threshold for kicking people off of a platform who refuse to get it to the country and our democratic processes and the president of the United States contradicting his own meritocracy rhetoric are two different things. That has to be one of the most embarrassing attempts at pivoting from the point and covering for your president I have ever heard you make.
Well, the truth is I'm not prepared for this argument because I have no idea what you're talking about, but I just hear the basis and I'm like, isn't this you? Okay. You can always find the projection.
So I read over the basis of it. You just literally
kicked me for what reason?
I just kicked you because I've spoken to you before. We had a new person on the panel. I have this rule where I don't like to go over the same shit with the same people time and time again. If you refuse to get it, you refuse to get it. That's one of the reasons why I don't debate like regular maggot creators. I don't see the point of it.
You're being selective.
Yeah. My personal TikTok platform isn't ran by a democracy. It's ran by me. I'm King Hector over here. I do what I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The country should not be ran as an individual TikTok creator's platform because those are two different things.
So anyways, yeah, you're a weak debater. You kick people that actually challenge your theories.
Okay. Let's play this game. I'm a weak debater. Pick your debate. Pick your topic. Let's go.
I'll let you pick it.
You want me to pick it? I mean, I opened up with it and you refused to address it. You decided to try and make it a thing about how I run my platform.
Your latest
so let's talk about, okay, fine. Let's do political weaponization. The Trump administration has been one of the largest contributors to political weaponization in the history of the United States and its presidents.
Yeah, this is more Darvo. What did the Biden administration do with Trump and his family? What? They raided his home. What are you talking about? Did Trump raid Biden's home?
Or no, Trump didn't have any grounds to raid Biden's home, whereas Donald Trump had classified documents over his toilet.
So did Joe Biden had him in his garage?
Yes, that is correct. But he wasn't raided, was he?
That's right, because we don't do that. That's what
you literally do.
Here you are blaming.
One of the first things you guys did, you raided John Bolton's home. What?
John Bolton is a actual criminal, right? He's actually a convicted criminal for.
And so is Donald Trump.
Not for withholding documents from the U.S. Not from our country.
We were talking
He's
about
not a
criminals. We were talking
documented
about
traitor.
criminals. So I just wanted to point that out. So is Donald Trump.
That crime you call a crime.
So what happens is when you're not supposed to do things and there's grounds for you doing incorrect things, illegal things, you can get raided. Donald Trump did quite a few. One was intentional, the other was an honest mistake. That's the difference.
You talk about the weaponization, and that's exactly what your party did to him and his family. And
no, it's really not.
They even started to do it to, thank God Trump won, but they were starting to do it to Elon Musk. If you guys would have won, you would have locked up
Elon Musk. Because of Elon Musk lobbying against certain groups that were investigating him. And then Doge came in and defunded them.
That's not entirely true.
That's not entirely true, is it not?
Nope.
Oh, it's fascinating. Do you think that there is a correlation between certain people showing up at Trump's events, donating a butt ton of money to him, and then their family members or associates being pardoned days, if not weeks after? Do you think there could be a correlation made there?
How about Trump's, Biden's
You don't address anything, do you? You just move on to the next point, like error, 404, factual information. Let's pivot. Let's pivot. Not address anything.
For me, I care about the country's best interest. So when people like Fauci get pardoned,
you don't give a shit about the country's best interest. You can miss me with that. Why do you guys lie so much? Goodness gracious. You care about your interests. Just be honest. If more Trump supporters just said, hey, I care about my interests and what Donald Trump looks like to me, what he presents for me, I think we would be in a much better state because at least we know straight up who the devils are versus this wiggle game that you guys keep playing. You don't care about the country. What are we doing?
It's your opinion.
Yeah. I would say it's substantiated time and time again when you actively support the things that the Trump administration is doing to weaken America and its citizens. Yeah. So do you want to address the fact that the Trump administration has done quite a bit of political targeting when it comes to Lisa Cook, Ketanji Jackson Brown, James Comey, Jack Smith, Zoran Mamdani, Kamala Harris, Hunter Biden, Fauci? Do I need to keep going? Long list. And which one of those led to any actual prosecutions or evidence? Letitia James, Mark Kelly, that's correct.
Didn't Biden pardon those last two names you gave, his son and Fauci?
Yes, he sure did.
He did.
I don't know what the relevance of that is to the targeting that the Trump administration has done.
I don't know. You brought up pardons. So.
Yeah, again, remember you told me to lead the conversation to give you the talking point, and it was political weaponization.
I'm not sure who you brought up, maybe some drug dealers or whatever that he pardoned. I heard about that. I'm not happy with it.
All of those names, none of those names I mentioned were substance dealers. These were his political enemies in the government, one of them being like Letitia James, and Letitia James was
Trump pardoning people. I was talking about Trump pardoning people.
Yeah, I mentioned one of the pardons, and I went into the weaponization of the government where he went after several political officials or even prosecutors like Letitia James.
Letitia James, yeah. I guess she falsified her real estate records. Is that right?
No.
No, she didn't. Are you sure?
No. Are you mixing her up with Lisa Cook, one of the governors on the Federal Reserve Board?
What did
where the allegation is that she did the exact same thing Trump did with his estate a few years ago?
What's the Letitia James allegation?
She was one of the prosecutors on his New York cases. That's literally it.
No. It's about her property. Why don't you look it up real quick?
Again, you're not talking about Letitia James, my guy.
Okay, do you have to? I'll go look it up. Letitia James was
investigated. Go ahead and look it up. Go ahead and tell me what Letitia James was investigated for regarding her property.
Let me go look it up. I may have the wrong name. I may have the wrong. Do I have the wrong name? Let me go look it up.
Go look it up.
God bless you.
I know, 44. He really doesn't answer any questions. A large portion of them don't bother to continue to tap the screens, get the likes up to 100K and beyond, 528 people in the live show. The algorithm wouldn't be here. Share out the live with your friends and family as well. Repost, add to your story. Continue to knock out the 1 cent gift goals. It gets boosted out in the FYP. Then we'll upgrade them as well. If you have not sent your daily heartbeats, please feel free to do so. And of course, follow
God bless you.
Follow the account and check out the links in the bio for the best ways to support the platform. If you would like to donate to me directly, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's and Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. Yeah. Thank you guys. If you're over on the tube side, hit the like button on the screen. Shh. Super chat, super sticker, or consider becoming a member, subscribe, and turn on notification bells. Now you may speak. I don't know why you guys just like bulldoze me in the middle of my
she
PSAs.
Was indicted.
No home training. Yeah, what was she indicted for?
Wow, you really got crushed on the research, huh?
What was she indicted for?
Well, you have a fucking show. You have 540.
What was she indicted for?
You would think that you would know.
What was she indicted for?
Do you know or do you not know?
What was she indicted for? I'm asking you. You're the one who said she was indicted. You're the one who was saying there was home fraud. What was she indicted for?
You were denying even an investigation against her.
I didn't deny an investigation against her. I said you may be mixing her up with Lisa Cook.
Right, but I was saying that she was being investigated for some type of fraud, didn't I?
And what was the fraud?
You want so you don't know. You need.
You literally just looked it up. You can't tell me what you just looked up.
No, I'm gonna go get you the technical. Since
I didn't ask for the technical. I didn't ask for the technical. You said you just looked it up. I'm just asking you to finish what you looked up. What was it?
I can go get you the exact charges. You want them? Do you want the exact charges?
It was the indictment, correct?
Correct.
And what was the indictment over? Mortgage fraud, correct?
Okay, so I said real estate. Is mortgage real estate or no?
Okay. So all I ask you to do is what it is. Tell me what it was. That's it. That's it. I don't know why that was so hard for you. And what happened with that indictment?
So you're totally...
What happened with that indictment?
You're playing stupid.
No, I'm not. What happened with that indictment?
Well, what are you doing with this?
What happened with the indictment? You said they were indicted, so I want to know the findings of the case. If you're saying that these people were pardoned or protected or that it wasn't political weaponization, what were they indicted for, and did it hold up?
Well, we were having a conversation. I brought it up and you denied it.
No, that's literally not what I did.
And then you told me that I made a mistake. You said
yes, I said you may have been thinking of Lisa Cook and the fraud that they were alleging her to have done for 2 properties.
I had it right.
You literally didn't. You had to look it up.
Why would you take us down some goofy road that you didn't understand what I was talking about?
I didn't take anyone down a goofy road. I wanted you to prove your claim because I wanted you to prove your claim, and you still couldn't even finish what you looked up the indictment on. I had to do it for you. That's the embarrassing part. This is the reason why you keep getting kicked, by the way. Because you literally play these games. You have yet to address any of the political weaponization cases that I brought up. Instead, you just pivoted to Biden and everyone else. And then you brought up, well, I thought she was done for this. And then I asked you what it was, and you literally couldn't substantiate it. I had to.
So that's your new argument? That's your new argument? That I'm not bringing you the technical charge?
That you're not mentioning what you're citing. You're just saying it vaguely, not from a place of confidence, because you don't actually know what it was about. And you don't know what the findings were. What were the findings? What were the findings? Or excuse me, let's do conclusion. No, it's not the new challenge. We're talking about the same thing. I'm sorry, we're talking about the same thing. You made the argument that this person could have been guilty and they were investigated for something. So I'm asking you to tell me what the findings were.
Why would we give you any benefit to ask any questions? You just played stupid.
Oh my God. Here's this thing that we like to do over on this platform, chat. If person brings up case, person needs to substantiate case. Person needs to tell me what the relevance of said case is and what the conclusions were. Person just said, was it Letitia James looked up for real estate fraud? What real estate fraud? Are you thinking of Lisa Cook? No, I thought it was Letitia James. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I guess I have to go look it up. I guess I have to go look up what I brought up on the platform. You looked it up. You said this and that. I asked you what the findings were, and now you're saying, oh, you didn't even know what it was. No, I'm asking you to substantiate what you brought to the conversation. Your evidence, your case for your overall point. You were trying to bring up, you were trying to belittle, you were trying to demean Letitia James and make her out to be some type of bad guy based off of this indictment. And you can't even tell me what the findings were.
Of course I can.
No, you can't.
easy.
That's why you've been pivoting this entire time.
can.
That's why you
Very
refuse to
easy.
mention it.
It's
Is
very
is
easy.
maybe the reason you don't want to bring up what the conclusion was of those indictments was that they were dropped, that they were null
You're
and
having a new
void, that it
argument
was
because you're
relevant?
gaslighting
No, it's not the
Mark.
new
You're
argument. It was what
gaslighting.
you chose.
Crazy.
You chose to bring into this conversation in some
got
attempt
trust.
to gaslight from
You
what
got
Donald Trump
trust.
was doing, in some attempt to negate
Okay, let me
his
know when you're
attacks
done.
on several individuals
Let
who are
me know when you're
against
done.
him. I will, no problem.
572
And
people
instead,
between you and us.
instead, you thought you had a gotcha. The gotcha wasn't what you thought it was.
me know
So
when I
now
can
you're
go.
trying to sit here and nitpick at how
me
I
know when I
worded
can
things. It's
go.
really embarrassing for you.
Keep talking over me.
I will continue to talk
know.
over you. Yes, I
Let
think
me
you're
know.
irrelevant.
Let me know.
Trump supporters request up in the box. You, the demographic of
That's
people I'd
what
like to
I
have a
thought. You're
conversation
such a
with.
coward.
If you're over on the
You're
tube
such
side,
a
you can call the number on screen,
loser.
737-295-5321.
Phony-ass
Cool. So you ready to tell me what the conclusion
garbage,
was, or do
dude.
you just want to accept the fact that I already told you?
You're garbage. Let me know when I can speak, and then you can speak, and then I
Yeah,
can
you're literally not addressing any of the points that I made.
run a debate.
You're literally not addressing any of the points that I made. You keep saying, let me know
You're
when I
trying
can
to do a
speak. And then
gotcha
when you do
moment when
speak,
you
you keep
got
pivoting.
caught up.
My guy, you got yourself. I just want to remind you, you got yourself. This is embarrassing for you.
You're angry.
No, I'm really not.
Yeah. No, I'm not really.
Oh, no. Thomas Sully.
There you go.
Yeah, you got
For
your
what? What did I
flag.
do?
You got your flag. Harassment and bullying. You got your flag for harassment and bullying. Congratulations. I thought it was going to be for misinformation. It was for harassment and bullying. So guys, Letitia James and those indictments fell apart. Those indictments were false. Those indictments was their way to get back at her because of her prosecutions against him in the state of New York. They fell apart because they were trash. And that's what he was trying to bring up in some attempt to make her out to be some bad guy. Trump supporters request up in the box. Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Why? like is this a debate or? Yeah, I did. Well, like not this past year. I didn't vote for anybody. The first time around, yeah.
Do you support the actions of this administration?
It's hard to no, not completely.
It's a yes or no. If it's 60-40, it's a yes.
Well, I mean, like,
if it's 70-30, it's a yes. If it's 50-50, it's a meh.
Man, like, I don't. It's probably like close. Like, I don't know, 45-50. I don't know. Like, it's close. Like, I think Iran's bullshit. All right.
Why did you call in?
Well, I was watching your YouTube channel. Just trying to figure out what's your beef, I guess.
What's my beef?
Yeah, with their administration. Like, hasn't it always been this way, though? Like, with Bush, Obama, like, all of it, hasn't it always been this way?
Hasn't what always been this way?
Like, the oligarchy. The oligarchy's always existed in America. Like, that's no lie. Like, it started shifting in the 1900s, and, like,
Donald
the
Trump
1970s,
supports and passes bills and deregulates to support the oligarchy versus the Democratic candidate and the Democratic Party pushing back against those efforts. That's the difference. You can sit here and talk about always. We're talking about the Trump administration making things worse. Yeah, and the Trump administration supports all of that. The Trump administration makes it easier for people to lobby.
Well, I mean, like, they got us fighting over Democrat or Republican, but the corporations own it.
We're fighting off of misinformation, disinformation, and the truth. We are fighting off of healthcare versus lacking healthcare. We're fighting after supplementing and supporting Americans with their own taxpayer dollars versus people who want to cut it. That's what we are fighting against.
Who's going to pay for that healthcare, though? Like, nobody's going to go into healthcare.
Americans pay for their healthcare. Yeah.
Well, like,
who's paying for healthcare right now?
They got waiting lists out the ass, bro.
No, they didn't. Who's paying for healthcare right now?
They do. Like, they literally have wait lines for years, bro.
No, that is specialized care, and the wait time is similar to
Look
the United States.
Look it up, man. Like, there's people literally online, like, dude, bro.
For specialized care, that's correct. If you need a certain heart surgery, there isn't a plethora of doctors that can perform said surgery. If you need a specific surgery done to your bones, you have to get to a specific doctor. Yeah, I don't really care what your experience is. On average, wait times are similar, especially when it comes to specialized care, in which case, just like here in the United States, where you have to wait, You have to wait a certain amount of time to see a doctor. I love it when you guys bring up the wait time rhetoric, even though that is literally, on average, similar to the United States. We have long wait times here in the United States for specialized care, my guy.
Doctor today.
For what? For what? For what? For what?
For anything.
Oh, if you have the money to do it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so you're saying if you have a certain amount of money here in a capitalist society, you are able to go over some of the wait time periods with paying additional money to get the care that you need. Almost as if that's literally the point of the oligarchy and a capitalist society where money will prioritize care. Versus in Canada, people can get all the care that they need, and if they need specialized care, they will wait, just like here in the United States, unless you're just filthy fucking rich and you can supersede said wait times.
In the United States.
Congratulations.
Bro, like, you wait 2 hours, but you're not going to wait fucking 10 months.
Wait 2 hours for what?
2 hours for fucking medications for your heart,
for medication, for getting a prescription, and for getting a prescription and picking up your prescription. That is what you're trying to compare. I'm talking about actual surgeries. I'm talking about specialized surgeries. I'm talking about specialized care.
How many people are getting surgery?
I'm talking when a regular doctor has to refer you to like a whatchamacallit, like orthodontist or some other person. That's where the wait times increase here in the United States and here.
That's not a doctor. Orthodontist is not a doctor. Just to let you know. That's what you said. That's why I called you.
My guy, I talked about specialized care.
Bullshit, bro.
I brought up specialized care, and you started talking about picking up prescriptions.
Not yes, because sometimes
what is an orthodontist? What is an orthodontist?
An orthodontist.
What is an orthodontist?
A fucking goddamn a teeth person with fucking braces and shit.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
An orthodontist is a tooth person.
No, that is just a dentist.
Okay, but an orthodontist with the braces and shit, right? What's an orthodontist?
You don't necessarily need an orthodontist for braces, to my knowledge.
Okay.
When you have to get gassed up and put under to remove teeth.
There you go.
Do you think the average dentist can do that?
You don't gas people up I guess.
Answer my question. When you have to go under, when you have to go under, what doctors have to do that?
An orthodontist.
Oh, they do braces? Okay, correction. They do braces.
What is an anesthesiologist?
Oh my fucking God.
An anesthesiologist is
you said no. You don't get to pivot because you just tried to play this whole game where you insulted my intelligence because you didn't know what the fucking orthodontist was. That's hilarious.
I knew it was
when you have to go under gas. You don't just go to the dentist and just for like a regular basic root canal or cleaning. That dentist is the same one who's going to be pulling your teeth out when you have to specifically go under. Those are different doctors. I've had wisdom teeth that I had to go get referred to an additional doctor, be put under to have those teeth removed. The regular ass dentist can't do that. That is specialized care. They all do dental care.
Shit out of my head awake, dude.
Then it wasn't that serious.
It was. They were impacted, but I didn't have the money. He's just like, "You want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'll numb the fuck out of you." And I was like, "All right." And he had to crack them and everything, dude. He had to break the teeth to get them out. It sucked, but that's what happens when you're poor.
Oh,
bro, okay.
What are you talking about? So I am so okay. Listen, shut up. No. You literally did want to argue with me. You literally been contesting the things that I'm saying, and I've been correcting you this entire time. I am so sorry that you're so poor that you had to go. We're literally not. No, the fuck we're not. No. Don't pull that bullshit. Don't pull that bullshit. You've been trying to contest with me this entire time. Now you want to talk about being in agreement when you've been fighting. You've literally been arguing against everything I've been saying this entire conversation. What the fuck do you mean we're in agreement?
The shit you've been saying is bullshit.
What did I say that was bullshit? Smart guy.
A lot.
Like a lot. Cool. Give me one.
How tall are you? Don't lie.
Do you want to fuck me?
Well, you call me short guy.
I said smart guy. I don't know your height. I don't give a shit about your height. And you have a comprehension problem.
Wanna fuck me? Shit, bro.
You asking my height? I was like, what the fuck? Is this a Tinder? Is this a Tinder interview? What the fuck does my height mean? What?
I mean, I don't know. Do you believe men can give birth to women?
Can we get some smarter batches of Trump supporters? It's too early for this shit. Can we get some smarter batches? All I did is put him on hold. I'm glad he hung up. Can we get some smarter batches of Trump supporters? What the fuck is this? This dude tried to tell me that an orthodox... He said an orthodontist isn't a doctor. Like, I don't know, Sean. I don't know why I'm so orange. It's weird. He said an orthodontist isn't a real doctor. And these are the people I have to engage with on a daily basis. And these are the people that I get criticized for cutting off, for not allowing to finish sentences. Jesus, man. What in the world? Oh, if you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Please make sure you're sharing out the live with your friends and family, those of you on TikTok and the YouTube. Knock out the cherries. We have 95 more of those to go if you want to support the stream. Gifting is giving thanks, so make sure that you're being thankful. And of course, the links in the bio are the best ways to support the platform. Make sure you're following me on all the social medias. Hector Talks with 2 R's on YouTube that we're dual streaming to right now. And then Instagram, where I post the same videos I put up on here. Join the Discord community. We are over 740 something members strong. It's free. You may choose to subscribe there if you want, but it is free. Also, check out the merch shop where we sell pieces of merchandise, such as from the 6,000% Combo with Never and New Testament Democrat line behind me, hectorshops.com with 2 R's, hectorshops.com with 2 R's, or donating directly to the links in the bio. If you like the platform, want to support me, say hi to my cute face, you may do so with the Cash App, PayPals, and Venmos. Those of you on the YouTube side, hit the like button on the stream, subscribe, turn on notification bells, hit up the links in the description of the live stream if you want to support, or send a super chat or a super sticker. Consider becoming a member as well. Thank you guys for the taps and everything else. I appreciate y'all. So anyways, as I was saying, Canada is always the scapegoat for them saying universal healthcare doesn't work. The problem is it literally does. It literally does. When more of you pay a little bit more in taxes in some cases a little bit more based off the estimates, and then it covers everyone, with more people covered, it gets cheaper, right? That's how universal healthcare works. More people are covered. They're able to negotiate better with some of these companies for substances, and then the care gets cheaper because you're pulling from an infinitely larger pool. That's how that works. And then for specialized care, as I was saying, which means not prescriptions or getting certain prescriptions, which you just need a doctor to write out and then you go pick it up, that time can take weeks for anything. Literally anything, unless you are just filthy rich. You have one doctor who just sits and waits on his millionaire and billionaire patients, and then you can get in whenever the fuck you want. For the average person, the majority of Americans, that's not how it works. What are we doing? Shout out to Canada. Trump supporters request up in the box you, the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. I also want to point out that the Trump administration, when they ran off of, concepts of a healthcare plan, then said that the ACA was the reason why healthcare costs are skyrocketing. The ACA is the reason why we can't seem to get any reasonable healthcare passed. And then they started to gut the subsidies, specifically the ACA, already did, gut the subsidies put into the ACA. Tell me why your insurance costs went up. If the ACA being weakened is the goal, and the weakening of the ACA will lead to lower healthcare premiums, why did they go up? Including, in some sectors, privatize healthcare as well. It's almost as if that was the scapegoat. It's almost as if there are bigger issues than the government deciding to take a portion of your tax dollars to bring down the cost of your healthcare. I forgot about that. I will never forget about concepts of a plan. Imagine getting up on the debate stage and having you have concepts of anything. How are you going to fix the border? I have concepts of immigration plan. How are you going to lower costs? I have concepts of lowering the costs. How are you going to utilize your tariffs? I have concepts of blanket tariffs. Like what? With the stroke of my pen? Yep. Ridiculous, bro. Anyways, don't get scared, y'all. Don't get scared, y'all. Don't run off. The last two guys, come on. Let's be real. They weren't smart. Yeah, people citing cases they didn't know and pivoting from every single question, refusing to address the fact that the Trump administration is pathetic. And then we had another guy who didn't know what doctors are doctors. So to be fair, we've had the lowest of the low. I imagine there's a pool of you. Thank you guys so much for the follows. I imagine there's a pool of you that is at least smarter than those guys. In which case, we can keep up, bro. Don't get intimidated by the black guy with the white hat. Please don't. W's in the chat to Godzilla, $55 super chat. Orthodontists have to go through residency. They get a doctoral in dental medicine through said residency. He doesn't care, bro. He doesn't care, bro. He doesn't care. Sometimes I wonder how many of them actually come up to like educate. If you believe, and the last one wanted you, well, to be fair, I was so confused. I said smart guy, and he thought I said short guy. Like, what? How tall are you? What else do you want to know? What color underwear I'm wearing? The fuck? The fuck? You Dems are so weak, says the guy chirping in the comments. Says the guy chirping in the comments. My favorite thing is when there was a request box and a call-in number for you to engage and show me just how weak I am. And then instead you sit there in the comments. This is my favorite section of the show as of late. Democrats are so weak. They think they're so smart because they know what doctors are. Ha 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 ha. Stupid Democrats. Canada's failing. Canada's falling. Look at the numbers. I don't know where the numbers are, but go find them. Look it up. Do your research. Do your research, Democrats. I want to take this opportunity to talk about a post that I saw on Twitter. And I'm not going to lie, it gets to me. It gets to me. There's a lot of stupid stuff that I'm able to dismiss when it comes out of a Trump supporter's mouth or from a Trump supporting page. But this one has been bugging me for the longest period of time. And I think we're going to actually make it the invisible prompt. So the main prompt is going to be Trump supporters regret your vote. If you regret your vote, call in or request up in the box. And if you don't, call in, request up. I'll give you several reasons as to why you should. The invisible prompt is going to be, tell me how Obama stoked up division and racism in the United States. Call in and tell me how Obama worsened racism and division in the United States. Because that's what I keep seeing. There was a post made on Twitter that I saw, and it was a Kendrick Lamar quote, allegedly. I have never heard him say it. It wasn't broadcasted on the news, and the person didn't even cite this statement. So I don't even know if I believe it. But regardless, it was basically Kendrick Lamar saying something about Trump being hateful or blah, blah, blah. I'm not quoting it because, again, I haven't seen it personally. I haven't proven it personally. But I went straight to the comments to see what the comments were. And there's a ton of people talking about Obama. They weren't actually addressing the quote, right? They weren't doing that. They weren't addressing the whole point of it. They just went, Obama is the reason why things are this bad. Obama is this, Obama is that. And I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about? They can't cite to one thing. The dude's entire campaign, 3 words, yes, we can. He is one of the most, I guess, centrist in rhetoric. I'll say rhetoric. Centrist presidents we've ever had. Everything he talked about was about bringing the country together. But he never shied away from its sins either. But that alone, this is the problem with you guys. Talking about racism is divisive to you. It's more divisive than racism itself. You guys are more afraid of being called racist than actually being racist. You're more afraid of being called out for your misogyny, misogynoir, versus actually disrespecting and hating on women. You guys are more afraid of being called a xenophobe or a Nazi or anything of that nature versus actually aligning yourselves with them. It's the craziest shit to me. Craziest shit to me. These are the people who be like, I can't believe she accused me of cheating. I only lasted 30 seconds. It's not cheating. Y'all are more worried about the accusation than the actual deed. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like Obama of all presidents, bro. What's the craziest thing Obama ever said? What's the craziest thing Obama ever said? Really? Really? Not him saying he requested and then running out the request. I don't understand these people. What's the craziest thing Obama ever said? He wore the tan suit. I guess so. Oh, I'm literally talking about why they didn't like him, Lila, I think. It's crazy. He wore a tan suit. He was born in Hawaii. He called out black men. That was an interesting one. If you guys remember that guest we had a couple weeks ago, Obama attacked black men. How did Obama attack black men? He called out the ones who wouldn't support Kamala Harris because she was a woman. Oh, so that's a bad thing? Now a black man can't talk to other black men who are voting or not voting based off of unpacked sexism, misogynoir, and self-hatred. That's a bad thing. Okay, cool. So we just can't call out people no more. Which actually tracks. The amount of people that will come up here on a daily basis and say, or better yet, not even come up. They'll chirp in the comments. We'll see the comments all the time. All you do is talk about Trump all day. Yes, he's the president of the United States. I'm a political commentator. I'm talking about his destructive actions. And he quite literally gets off on doing 6 or 7 or 8 crazy things daily. That's kind of what happens. We incorporate it into other news. We incorporate it into advocacy. We incorporate it onto the impact of voting. That's what we do. But they don't like that. They hate to see Trump's face. Actually, they love to see Trump's face everywhere, just not when it's being criticized. That's it. Constructive criticism is good. It's how you grow as a human being. I just want to point that out. Whatever your username is, come up here and tell me about it. How about that? Come up here and tell me about it. I watch Obama clips when I'm bummed. I'll tell you what I did do. I went back and I watched the debates between him and McCain and Romney. 2008, 2012. I went and watched those debates. And the craziest thing about when you watch presidential debates up until 2016, it's almost as if you're on a different earth. Like we just transported ourselves to a completely different earth. The way they spoke to each other, the way that they more so tried to criticize each other's points versus actually doing personal attacks. It is a different freaking world. And this is why I say, and I can prove it even when we look at hate crimes and other things, the Trump administration is one of the worst things that could have happened to this country. Granted, we have a system that obviously encouraged people like him. That's a separate conversation. Like he got there for a reason. We have a system that like encourages and props up people like him. However, we were at least curbing it more before then. And then Trump administration came in and people decided it's okay to be a hateful bigot again. Jace, did you vote for Trump?
I did vote for Trump.
And do you regret your vote?
I do not.
Why is that?
Because Trump is the greatest thing to happen to America.
Can you substantiate that claim?
Can I substantiate that claim? I mean, just look, the proof is in the pudding. First of all, Trump gave us $2,500 a month back in 2020 during COVID, and I was able to pay all my bills for all 5 of my children. Second, Trump has
Let's do one at a time.
Let's do one at a time.
I'm sorry? Let's do one at a time. You guys really like to bulldoze. It's weird. Okay. So those stimmies, those stimmies that you're talking about?
The stimmies, yo!
Yeah. Those stimmies were passed bipartisanly by Congress. In fact, Trump administration actually held up the first round just so he can put his name on it.
No, that's not true.
It is
that's
true.
That's literally not true. It's literally not. Can you prove that's true?
It literally is.
Can you prove what? Cite your sources.
I certainly can. Are you unaware of the fact that the president of the United States just can't hand people checks like that? It has to have been passed.
He can, actually, because he's the president. He's above the law. Thank you.
I'm not doing this.
But what are you so confused about, sir? Trump is the greatest thing to ever happen to America, and you're just jealous of that.
You're not a real
and so is everyone else.
You're not a real person.
I am the real person. I'm the real person. I'm the queen. And everybody in the audience will bow to me. I'm the queen. I'm the new queen of America. Everybody in the audience will bow to me, including this person who is hosting this live. Okay, Trump is the greatest thing to ever happen to America. I've been to Mar-a-Lago in Miami, Florida. Thank you. He personally sent me an invite.
Not worth it. Not worth it. Is that the best? Is this the best we have going forward? Is this the best we have now? Excuse me. Is this the best they have to offer? Imagine that. Imagine that. Stimmies.
God bless you.
I got my stimmy. I'm going to vote for Trump. I got my stimmy. Literally, by that logic, the largest stimulus package, America. Thank you so much, Monica, for the hats and mustaches. I appreciate you. America. By the way, guys, I'm not going to lie. So we are back in B League. Shout out to me. We are back in B League. However,
God bless you.
That gift gallery got crazy again. The gift gallery is now unreasonable. I literally have more than Erica. Erica had 18 in her gift gallery. I have 21. Why do I have 21 gifts in here? That's insane. If you would like to support me, please feel free to click on my name in the top left corner, scroll down to the B5 gift gallery, and title gift any of the great gifts down there. But if you can't and you don't want to, I don't fucking blame you. Our gift gallery is insane, but anything that you throw at me there is much appreciated. It's much appreciated. But yeah, this is the best that they have to offer now. Senseless rambles. Oh yeah, I was making a point with the stimulus checks. I was making the point of the stimulus checks. So with the stimulus checks specifically, if we're to say that those packages are the reason you voted or support Donald Trump, then fun fact, the Biden administration, when they passed the largest one out of the two, you should have supported him then, but you probably didn't. You probably called him Sleepy Joe and you thought he was a clone and all the other nonsense that you tout around on a daily basis. User, did you vote for Trump?
God bless you.
It was good.
User, did you vote for Trump?
My name is not User.
That's what I'll be referring to you unless you'd like to give me a different name.
It's Kamala.
Nope.
Kamala Harris.
Give me a different name or it's going to be User. Pick your poison.
This is Mr. Harris.
Trump supporters request up in the box to the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with.
God bless
if you're
you.
over on the tube side, you can call it. Thank you so much, Luna, for the hand arts. I appreciate you. Thank you for the roses. Thank you, Gucci, for the gifts. I think I got a few people there. Thank you, Neely. You may call in the number on screen on YouTube, 737-295-5321. The more they do that is the more my point is proven, by the way. The more they do that is the more my point is proven. Double tap the screen. Let's get we just hit 100,000 likes. I love it when we hit 100,000 likes before
God bless you.
we hit the hour mark. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys continue to tap the screen and let's get the likes up to 200K and beyond. If you guys keep this up, maybe a milli live. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be live that long, but 500K would be dope. 500K would be dope. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Painted Nails, for the hearts. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Make sure you're sending your daily Harveys if you haven't already. For 1 coin, you get a couple cool gifts. Excuse me, not gifts. Stickers that you can send throughout the week. So do that. I hate it here.
Hector, what's up, man?
What do you got?
No, I was just watching that video of you and Andrew Wilson like 2 weeks ago, bro. He cooked you, dude.
Sure. What do you cook me on?
Well, I mean, first of all, you don't know what objective and subjective the difference is, bro. That's how low IQ your brain is. No, you don't, bud.
Okay.
But hey,
can you give me an objective?
Just real quick, bro.
Can you substantiate? No. You started off with objective and subjective. Can you tell me how I incorrectly use subjective and objective?
Well, let's go watch the video.
No, you don't have to. Oh, wow! You got a flag and point to. He literally got a flag before he even said hard R. Honestly, hold on. Splinter, come back, Splinter. Come back up, Splinter. Splinter, come back. Is he back? Okay, really quickly, I just need you back in the request so I can hit that block button. There you go. I keep forgetting that's the Splinter guy. There's like 3 different people with like greenish profile pictures. I didn't realize that he was the one who literally just comes up to say the hard R, and for some reason his account never gets banned. I get flagged to hell for every single thing. He comes up here, calls me a nigger almost every single chance that he can get, and he's still standing. Crazy. Also, I love it when I still need to do a little response video on that. I find it to be irrelevant. Andrew Wilson came up and said, I don't know the difference between objective and subjective, when he didn't understand what I was telling the last guest. So he was like listening in before I let him up on the request to the previous guest I was speaking to. And I said, would you like to have a conversation about objective reality or your subjective feelings? Right? So check this out. Check this out. Donald Trump was held civilly liable for the sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll. That is objective. That is objective. You know where it gets subjective? When you clowns say that he can appeal it to the Supreme Court.
IQ butcher.
That's the difference.
Press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
This is the guy who called in earlier. I know you're low IQ, but you don't have to say it on the panel. You don't have to say it in front of a combined 800 people, bro. Don't embarrass yourself like that. Don't embarrass yourself like that. So that's what I kept asking the guests. Those of you who didn't see the video, don't even bother. I'm literally going to make a response video. It's going to be much shorter because the rest of it is a waste of time. I banned him because Andrew Wilson is a piece of shit. Literally, one's objective, right? Objective and then subjective. I was explaining that and what kind of conversation I wanted to have with the guests, where I gave him the chance to say, we can have an objective conversation about this or subjective one about your feelings, which is the majority of what Trump supporters have. Then he said, I don't know the difference between objective and subjective. I was like, well, can you tell me what I said that was wrong? I didn't even ask him that. I just said sure when he brought it up because I wanted to move on from the conversation. I was like, I don't know what the fuck his moron is. You guys need to know words. You need to know what words mean. You need to know what words mean. He can appeal it. It just got denied today. So what you can appeal, if I'm not mistaken, Monica, is not necessarily like the overturning of the case. It's more so you can like nitpick at the merits of like the investigators or the evidence and stuff like that. But the Supreme Court doesn't just overturn your conviction. That's the part that I'm like, you guys keep getting wrong. The monetary judgment. Yeah, like that. They keep saying that the Supreme Court can completely get rid of the, not even conviction, but the liability, which will only be financial. But in terms of a conviction, which that would go into like the 34 counts, there'll be different cases. That's what these people actually think the Supreme Court can overturn. Yeah. Admissibility of evidence. Yeah. There you go. It's insane. It's insane. A lot of YouTube people are saying the line is closed for them to call in. That can't be possibly right. They're lying. Somebody literally just called in. If they're saying that they can't call in, they're literally lying. This person just called in. And I have no missed calls. Thank you, John, for letting me know. But yeah, they're literally lying. Y'all don't have to lie to kick it, bro. If you're scared of me, just say that. Mind you, I have infinitely smarter people or mutuals than me. I have some of them in this live right now. Why are you guys scared of me, bro? Why are you scared of me?
God bless you.
Hey, shout out to Max for the whale diving. Big W's to you, Max. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Anyone else wants to clear out anything in the gift gallery? If you can, please feel free to hit my name in the top left corner and scroll down to the B5 gift gallery. Knock out all of the grayed out gifts. W's to Max. I appreciate you. Max, you're supposed to message me. You're supposed to message me because I have something for you. I appreciate you knocking out Erica's gift gallery yesterday. That was super huge. That was super huge. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Blacker Tony, for the hat and mustaches. America, I appreciate you. I just realized they were lying. I got you. Thank you for letting me know, because sometimes the call-in number is down. But no, they're lying. They're literally lying. It's weird. It's weird. What? I don't know what this guy is saying. Didn't Hector call a white person a pale face? Yeah. You got a problem with that? You got a problem with me calling a racist a pale face? Oopsies. That's a you problem, bro. Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, and we call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Delta, did you vote for Trump?
Hey, what's up, Hector? I just clipped the last one, you dumb fucking nigger. You're a fucking dumb nigger, dude. You're the...
Imagine having absolutely nothing to contribute to a conversation but slurs. When you guys clip me and post it, you're only embarrassing yourselves. I have a few clips of me circulating TikTok, and it's always funny when they put it up, because I think to myself, did you watch this before posting it? Did you watch this before posting it? Or better yet, this one guy, I can't remember what I said. I said something demonstrably wrong, like something crazy wrong, because I mixed up the time periods. Shit, what were we talking about? And I said that shit wrong as fuck. And then he was like, don't you mean this? I was like, oh shit, yeah, you're right, I was wrong. They literally posted that. I'm like, you posted me as a human being making a mistake. Okay. WU. What do you think that proves? You can demean me all you want to. That doesn't change the fact that your president is horrible. Doesn't change the fact that he's compromising and walking back on several different campaign promises that he made on you. It doesn't make you any happier with his policies or directives, more so, because I made a mistake. I own up to my mistakes, bro. Hold on.
Call from
Ryan thinks he's smart butcher.
I don't know why you were calling back, bro. I have no, I don't care to conversate with you, bro. You sat up here trying to argue with me when you didn't know what the orthodontist is. Why the fuck would I engage with you on anything else?
I'm not used to like the online videos.
But I don't know what that has to do with just being dead fucking wrong. Do you often argue back and forth with people who are more politically educated than you? Do you argue with people more politically
educated?
You're politically educated? Please don't do this.
I'm not too shabby.
Please don't do this, bro. Please don't do this.
More old than new.
Please,
like I don't care about new because news is all lies.
Please don't do this,
like the new shit's lies.
Don't do this to yourself.
And it was back then. Like, when was the Federal Reserve?
What's your name, bro?
Ryan Butcher. Like it's on screen. Like that's literally my name.
Ryan, I want to give you one chance to hang up the phone and go on about your day. Just one.
Well, I want you to look up a stat about
one chance to hang up the phone
healthcare.
And go on about your day before we have to do this.
6 weeks is the average.
We don't have to do this,
average person. It's
we don't have to do this.
28.6 weeks. I mean, like, why would you want me?
What are the three branches of government?
I'll let you talk.
What are the three branches of government?
The judicial, the legislative, and the Senate. Or no? It's close. Judicial.
The Senate is in the third branch.
Yeah, the judicial, legislative, and the fuck. Bro, man, I'm rusty. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Fuck. What is it, man? Like, what's that third one? Like, I got the two right. I know that. Come on, just help me out, bro.
Didn't he say executive and judicial at first?
Didn't
he say executive and judicial at first? Damn. And then you said legislative and judicial, forgetting the executive.
Bro, sorry. Well, I was actually calling in to make a real conversation.
Judicial and legislative, so he didn't say the executive? Okay, he didn't say the executive? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. Like that. Yeah, I said it twice. Thank you.
What are the two main bodies of Congress? What are the two bodies of Congress?
The two bodies of Congress, the House and the committee, right?
The House and the committee? Bro, you said Senate earlier.
Yeah, two bodies. Yeah, the Senate and the House. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, like I'm looking further down the chain. Not bad. Like, dude, like I don't belong. Like, I don't want to be there, bro. Like, damn, bro. I don't want to know how it all works. I think it's all bullshit.
What branch of the government does the FBI serve in?
The FBI. Like, fuck. It's not the legislative because legislates above them. They give them the powers to arrest people, and like the FBI can arrest people that can arrest people. Fuck. Fuck, I don't even know. Do you know? And
executive.
Like, your chat's asking hard questions, bro.
Executive, bro.
Executive, yeah. It would be the executive. Isn't like military executive as well?
Who nominates the heads of branches like the FBI, the DNI, or the CIA? Who nominates those heads?
It should be us, but it's actually in-house. Like it's part of the executive and the House committee and all them. Like it should be us. It should not be them.
My question was,
I feel like it's an incestuous thing. Like I feel like that we should vote cops in. Like, I feel like we like the neighborhoods and stuff. Like, I feel like that shit's
Some people should stay in the comments. And you know, if he called in initially and genuinely tried not to argue with me about stuff, I would continue that conversation on with him. But you tried to argue against what I was saying, and then the jab when he tried to insult my intelligence. I called in because I thought you were smart. I thought you knew that an orthodontist wasn't a doctor. I probably would have kept talking with him. Wow, bro. Wow, the state of this country is I don't claim to be any superior intellect, but god damn, I'm not that stupid. I'm so sorry. I am not that down. Nope. I'm not that down bad. Nope. Yikesies. Trump supporters requested for the proxy with the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets their vote, this live is a safe space for you to come up here and express all the reasons that you decide to get up off the MAGA plantation. Or if you are a Trump supporter who does not regret your vote, you think he's doing an exceptional job, you think there's something that I'm missing, something that you can use to compliment him on, or I can compliment the Trump administration on, by all means. I open up this platform on a daily basis to find out what those things are, and every single day I am disappointed.
Phil,
you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Phil, are you here to be a headache, or are you here to have a conversation? I'm just going to start asking that question off the bat.
So I actually think I can have an interesting conversation with you, Bubba, but I want to tell you that I think I'm going to take it from a different perspective. I think that by electing Trump, we finally have ridded the world of the American pest, of us as a colonial pest.
What?
Well, we went from neoconservative to neoliberal to whatever neo-fascist Trump is, to back to neoliberal, to where now Europe no longer sees us as a reliable ally. The petrodollar is completely eroded in 2022, and now
what did I do
American
to deserve
soft
this?
power is almost completely eroded.
What did I
think
do?
That finally the world can be rid.
What did I do to deserve this?
Can
somebody tell me what I did?
The American military
somebody tell me what I did. Who did I piss off?
Military death abroad.
Who did I piss off? I just need to know.
Because the rest of the world isn't going to trust us anymore.
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did. I regret it, but I really think that unintentionally now we might be rid of America as, like, you look at all the wars we've caused, you know, the 4 million dead in Iraq, the 2 million in Afghanistan, the 4 million in Timor-Leste, it's like 200 million over the past 50 years. And now with goodwill for the United States completely eroded, a full multipolar world now, American soft power fully eroded.
Hold, please.
I think.
Call from
DT.
BP, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Hold for a moment where I wrap up with this last caller. Won't take long.
Sure.
Good sir. Midterms is happening this year. Did you know that?
Exactly.
And what will you be doing about your vote?
Do what?
What will you be doing about your vote this midterm election?
I really think as unstable as the American experiment is, I'm already looking at like Portugal has a D12 visa program for retirees over there.
Wrong answer. You voted in the mess that is this administration. You've caused a substantial amount of harm to your average American, including those who believe the same things that you do. I think it is your responsibility to vote against them. Every single person who will vote against this administration, who will curb their actions until he gets about the paint in 2028, should be the person that you vote for on the ballot. Democratic, Republican, Independent, don't give a shit. House, Senate, Governor, whatever. Every single person who says no to the MAGA nonsense should be at the top of your vote list come November for the general elections. And if you do anything other, fuck you. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, caller. You said you voted for Trump. Do you regret your vote?
It's kind of hard because you have two ugly sisters that you have to decide you want to, what with, and I just could not vote for the same party as Kamala.
It's fucking gross, bro. You're fucking gross. That's a fucking gross. What the? Get the fuck off. What the? You didn't hear what he said? You didn't hear what he said? Hold on.
Call from.
Calling on the line, hold for one moment. He said, basically comparing the 2024 president election, the two candidates, to two ugly sisters that
God bless you.
You have to, what with. Incest. Came up here in 2 seconds and referred to incest. Anyone else wants to support the platform, please feel free to hit the links in the bio. If you're over on the Tube side, you can send a super chat, super sticker, or becoming a member. I'm going to do my best to get us a genuine conversation, but you've guys seen what we've been dealing with so far. So all I need y'all to do is support me, tap the screen, share out the live, knock out the gifts. If we can get the likes up to 250K within the next few minutes, I would fucking love it. So do all the good things, please. Callie on the line, did you vote for Trump?
No, I just wanted to say, man, left wing, right wing, same bird, man. Like, you guys both push extreme.
I'll take that bird over being a dumb bird.
What's that?
Never mind. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the Tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Yes, left wing, right wing, same bird, the government bird. And then you vote on one wing, and then you can turn that bird into the direction that better serves the average American.
God bless you.
I don't know what else to tell y'all. I don't know why you think saying it's the same bird negates the fact that you can have some influence or control of the trajectory of said bird for your favor. What a really... I can't stand that same bird bullshit. Like what? Like what? I like that, Pistol Pete. You know what? I like that, Pistol Pete. They're not the same bird. They're not the same bird, right? The Republicans are the fucking vultures. Democrats are like pigeons, okay? They're cute, but sometimes they do nothing. And sometimes they chill with the vultures a little bit too much. Sometimes they're a little bit too comfy with the vultures. But, inactivity, bro. Inactivity. Inactivity. I answered the phone already for this guy. I think I think that was the incest guy. We're not doing that again. We're not doing that again. I think that was the incest guy. Oh, pigeons used to be used for sending messages though. Thank you guys for the follows. They're not stupid. No. Pigeons are not stupid. Absolutely not. Pigeons are not stupid. Absolutely not. Good luck, bro. Thanks for the luck. I'll need it, I guess. I appreciate that.
Call from
Jessica.
Jessica, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
No. But I just wanted to tell the guy that when the guy said the two sisters, it didn't necessarily mean his two sisters. He was saying the guy was talking incest. Hello?
Okay.
Jessica, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump? I did not. However, I just called to tell you that when the guy was saying two ugly sisters, I didn't agree with him.
Call from.
Yo.
Are you the weird fuck who called in about two ugly sisters?
Definitely not. I'm the bird guy that you hung up on and instead of having a conversation. But I just wanted to say that Trump pushed a lot of Democratic agenda during his thing. That's why I said the left wing, right wing, same bird.
Give me an example.
If his supporters actually paid,
give me an example of one thing that Democrats overwhelmingly and Republicans overwhelmingly have the same position on in 2026.
No, what I mean by it is both sides push a hardcore agenda instead of trying to find middle ground with each other. That's what I mean.
That could not be more incorrect. Give me an example of a hard-wing left
let me burn Trump real quick. Let me burn him real quick.
I don't give a shit. Give me an example of a hard-wing left thing and a hard-wing right thing that they both push without regard for Americans who are in the middle or otherwise. Go ahead and give me a thing.
Yes, I would have to say that. Well, both of you guys push a racial divide. Both of you guys do. But
I'm sorry. First and foremost, are you a black man?
I am.
Okay, cool. Tell me how Democrats push racial division.
That didn't go the way you expected it to go, huh?
No, I was asking
I just
to know
happened to call.
why.
I just happened to call out.
I didn't think you were
going to
be white, my guy.
I call out both sides.
Yeah, sure. Give me an example of how Democrats push racial division in the United States, please.
Well, like I said, you know, you've called your own callers that call into your show. You refer to them as pale face and different things.
Yes, I refer to racist as pale face. Pale face isn't racist.
Oh, it's a racial slur. Like, we can sugarcoat it all we want to, but it still is what it is.
It's not. Also, I was talking about the party, not so much the individuals, because I'm not going to sit here and answer. Hey, my guy, I'm not going to sit here and answer and clean up for the average person who aligns himself with either party. I'm talking about the Democratic Party, the officials in the party. Give me an example of how Democrats in the party stir racial division. I'm not going to sit here and unpack people's deconstructed behaviors who align with the party. I don't give a fuck about that. Tell me how the party pushes racial division. I was
talking about the people that align with the party. I wasn't talking specifically
so
about
I don't give a fuck about how the
politicians.
people who align with the party and what they vote for, what they haven't unpacked, or the things that they may say. I'm aware of the fact that the Democratic Party mostly consists of white people, which is most parties, which would involve a bunch of fucking racists. It is what it is. I don't give a shit about the people.
Yeah.
That's the best you have, criticizing the people versus the actual Democrats and the policies that they advocate for.
No, you know, the thing is, man, once we get past the passive aggression thing, then you can have a conversation, man. Like when somebody debates, when they debate, that means it doesn't matter if even if they know that their point is wrong, they're still going to fight that point.
Nope.
I'm not a debater. I like to have a conversation.
Neither am I. People come up here to debate me. I really open up this platform to have a conversation, and everyone turns into debate when they say that I'm wrong.
Yeah, I get it. Look, me and you, we done been on the wrong foot before. It's not about that, man. I'm hoping that every American takes their voting serious and does whatever research that they need to do, and I hope they do evenly research.
You didn't vote.
So
why the fuck are you talking about Americans taking voting seriously when you didn't vote?
Yeah, because I take it serious.
How do you take it serious if you don't vote?
I have to. So my choice was to pick the lesser two evils, right? That was my choice. And then you criticized me for making a choice to stay out of that,
but you wanted me to pick the lesser
of two evils. Even though I don't agree with that side and I don't agree with that side, still pick one. No.
The things you have disagreements on are rooted in misinformation and disinformation. The entire basis of your disagreements with the candidates is heavily rooted in the fact that you didn't even understand one of those candidates. The average person who said, I refuse to vote for Kamala Harris, doesn't know shit about her platform.
No, but they do know that all right, if she were the president, wouldn't she be the head of the Democratic Party? Yes or no?
What?
If you're the president, like Obama, he like, all right, matter of fact, like Trump is the head of the Republican Party. We all agree on that?
He's the head because Republicans would quote unquote appointed him as such. It's not necessarily how Democrats move it. You guys are asking us all now, who's leading the party? Who's leading the Democratic Party? Who's running in 2028? We don't know yet. No one's announced their candidacies. We don't run off of kings and figureheads that spearhead the entire party. That's more so the media and what you guys want. It's not how we move over here. It's a democracy.
Who's you guys? I'm independent. I like we both just
my
said.
My guy. You're conservative. You're conservative leaning. You literally are.
I'm conservative.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can talk about James Houston Davis, or we can talk about Harry Truman, or we can talk about John Patterson. These were all Democrats that during the civil rights era, man, they let's see, James Houston, what did he do? He told people to take their white children out of school with Ruby Bridges. He was a Democrat. We could talk about Harry Truman, and these are the points when I say that the Democratic Party has pushed racial agendas too. We could talk about Harry Truman. Switch to states' rights.
Has your healthcare seen an increase over the past year?
Refused to provide state protection.
Has your healthcare seen an increase over the past year?
What's that?
Has your healthcare seen an increase over the past year?
Has my health condition increased?
Care.
Oh, health care. Actually, and this is to be totally true. This is, I'm not trying to get a got you moment or nothing like that, but I feel like everything in the healthcare system kind of sucks. I mean,
I feel like that's a long ass winded way not to answer a direct fucking question. Yes or no?
I believe
yes
you
or
said
no?
healthcare.
Yes
so that's
or
your
no?
relationship with
yes
your doctor.
Or
I feel
no?
like doctors are not like
your
doctors
healthcare premiums is clearly what I'd be referencing if I asked if there was an increase, my guy. Yes or no?
Oh, okay, I didn't hear you talk about the increase.
So if you started listening to comprehend what I was saying versus trying to respond and do this rigmarole, we would probably have a much better conversation. Has your healthcare premiums increased over the past year? Yes or no?
They've increased every year.
Oh my God. So yes.
They've increased. That's the truth. Every year they've increased. Every year, our healthcare has risen.
Healthcare has increased in the last year specifically due to the ACA subsidies being gutted by the Trump administration. You've seen a substantial increase this year specifically because of the actions of the Trump administration.
Yeah, now look.
Did the cost of your gas increase?
I will burn him. I don't like his.
Did the cost of your gas increase? I don't give a shit about what you think about Trump anymore, my guy. Did the cost of your gas increase?
It's not about Trump.
Did the cost of your gas increase?
You can't even be quiet long enough for somebody to
No, not really. I don't want you rambling on. That's what you keep doing. Did the cost of gas increase?
Like now to your viewers that may not know about this, there's some.
Jordan, have we talked to this guy before? Jordan, have we talked to this guy before? I saw you mention something in the chat. Have we spoken before?
It's the same guy, man. I
don't know what that means.
You put me on some kind of pause.
No shit, I put you on hold. I'm asking you if we've spoken before today.
Yes, I told you that.
What's the last conversation we had?
I'm not sure. It may have been on Pickle's No, it wasn't on Pickle's platform. I'm not sure. But I know we've spoken before.
Did I call you a stupid nigga?
oh yeah, you did do that, and I didn't appreciate it. But it don't matter, you know. Like you say, it doesn't matter.
I remember
man.
you now.
But my thing was, I just didn't feel that you had the right to say those words.
Yeah.
You know, some people, you know.
Do you think
that's how some people react instead of having
Do you think it's okay to call people stupid?
Yeah, I don't think that it's okay to use the N-word, and I don't think that it's okay to call people pale faces, N-words. I don't like any of them. You know what I mean? I'm just like that, bro.
Okay.
That's just me. You know, I wasn't.
Debbie's in the chat to Ren for the $2 Venmo. I know what it is. You don't have your expo marker.
I just wasn't.
Ren, I'm not gonna lie. I lost my red expo marker. I actually lost it. That's why you guys haven't seen it for the last couple of days. I lost the marker. I don't know. I don't know where it went.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
I don't know where it went. W's in the chat to you, Ren. Thank you so much for the $2 Venmo. Make sure I didn't miss anything on the YouTube side. No, I did not. Guys, best way to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio. If you're over on the Tube side, links in the description of the live stream, super chat, super sticker, or becoming a member. The pool is up, and this is going to be that one. It's going to be that one. Make sure you're hitting up the links in the bio. What is your question?
Are you familiar with is it Stephen Miller or Stephen Miller?
Stephen Miller.
He's the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, and he's pushing a policy trying to put our disabled people back into mental institutions and things of that nature. I'm strongly against that. That's why I'm trying to tell you, like, hey, I'm trying to draw awareness to this so people know these things.
Do you think it's okay to call people stupid?
Oh, man. At the end of the day, it's America. We have free speech. People can say whatever they want to say.
No, I'm asking about your core values. If someone kept consistently bugging you about something that's just really stupid, do you think it's okay to call that person stupid?
We started on reparations. I let that talk go ahead and die because I seen that you wasn't going. So now I call back into your line to let.
Do you think the more you refuse to answer my questions, it should be more of a warrant for me to call you stupid for consistently avoiding to answer direct questions?
I mean, we could try to rage bait, but if you noticed in the past, you went off and I still it didn't work. The rage bait don't work. No. It doesn't work.
The more you refuse to answer my direct questions, that leads me to believe one of two things.
I mean, yeah, it's a free country. Like, what more do you want?
The first thing is either A, you don't understand the question, and you have an inability to understand said question, due to either being really stupid or having a legitimate disability, in which case I'm not ableist. Or two, you're pivoting. Intentionally pivoting and refusing to acknowledge anything I'm saying because you don't want to walk down the road I'm about to walk you down on. Both of which I would say are stupid.
It's okay.
My question was your personal values. Do you think it's okay to call people stupid who keep telling you stupid shit?
So it was stupid to bring up the fact that
that's not an answer to my question.
Republican
do you personally believe that it's okay to call people stupid if they keep saying stupid shit? Yes or no?
God bless you.
You wasn't listening to me and I wasn't listening to you. We missed each other right there. We just missed it. You didn't answer my question. I just asked you about Stephen.
I think pigs can fly.
Trying to put people in nursing homes. He's a Republican. You should be outraged about this.
I think pigs can fly. Nazis should be able to vote. And that SCOTUS is a waste of time. I also think that 2 + 2 = 7. And that the sky is a figment of your imagination.
All right. Okay.
Does that sound like a stupid thing to say?
I think so.
Now, if I told the person who said all those things that you're a stupid fucking person, would you be personally offended by that?
Would I be personally offended? Not necessarily, because I was taught that when people start cussing, that shows a lack of vocabulary. So it wouldn't it wouldn't affect me personally.
I find it hysterical that you bring that up, considering that you would watch my lives quite frankly often, and you see just how vast my vocabulary is, even though I cuss like a sailor. Nice try, though. Hi, Lainey.
Well, that's
so,
just how we was. That's just
with
how
that
we
being
was raised,
said,
man.
Since you at least agree that you would not be personally offended if we called that person who said all those crazy things stupid, then I want to bring this back to your argument, which is that, hey, I want to level with you. I want to level with you. Trump's doing this thing, or Stephen Miller's doing this thing that I don't like, that I can't stand. I don't give a shit what you think about Trump. You didn't vote for him. You didn't vote for Kamala Harris. The point in me bringing that up is that you're stupid for not voting. You have legitimate concerns about the actions of this administration, but you refuse to lift your hand to vote against that administration, to vote for the people who are going to stop that administration, or at least try to. So you're just sitting here complaining that you have no gas in your car, but you won't fill it the fuck up. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Do you want me to respond to that or not really?
Yeah. Floor is yours to respond.
Okay. Well, okay. My first response would be that Stephen Miller just came out and said that. He didn't say that around election time. If I would have known that was his plans, no way. I probably would have leaned the other side. But it's still that feeling of tearing yourself to pick the less of two evils. We need independent. In my opinion, we need independent representation to bring our country back to the middle. Because when the Democrats get it, they're going to yank it far left. When the Republicans have it, they're going to yank it far right. I don't know how else to explain that. That's just how I see it.
W's in chat to Wesley for the $5 super chat. It may not be okay to call someone stupid. Therefore, caller, you have the same IQ as the average sea sponge. Your brain is smoother than a koala's. Jesus fucking Christ. W's in the chat to you, Wesley. Thank you so much for the super. I appreciate your support. Hold please.
Call from
Hawaiian.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
He hung up. I don't know why he hung up. I told him to hold. Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
I sure did, you stupid bitch-ass faggot.
Cool. Call back, my guy. I told you to hold. I don't know why you hung up. Call back. Well, I'm not finished with you. I'm not finished calling you stupid. Call back. Oh, I'll keep it up for the time being, just in case. I'll just take it away for the time being. Goodness gracious. That's the problem. With everyone who sits here and says, I see this person doing this bad thing. I see this person doing this bad thing. I don't like this thing. This is more expensive. This got worse. But I'll be damned if I voted against it. I'll be damned if I voted for the lesser of two evils that would not have done the evil thing that I'm complaining about. Does that make an ounce of fucking sense to anyone? None. You have two options. You can participate in slowing down your death, or you can die. I don't know. I'm going to slow down my fucking death until you just give up, in which case that's accelerationists. We don't talk to accelerationists. Those people are wastes of air. I do not talk to accelerationists. Nope. Won't happen. Won't do it. I voted for this person so they can worsen everything and we can start over. Okay, nigga. Good luck to you. Bye. That helps no one. W's in the chat to Gucci for the 10 for the P-Band. W's in the chat to Jana. Hi, Jana. For the $20 Venmo. A MAGA asked in the YouTube chat why anybody would donate to you. So I'm donating to you to tell him to shut the fuck up. I hope you're having a good day, Hector. W's in the chat to you, John. Thank you so much for being a good sport. I appreciate your support. Big shout out to John in the chat, y'all. Anyone else wants to support the platform because maybe you could find valid reasons to support me, you may hit up the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you are over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat, super sticker, or consider becoming a member. We are almost at 250K. W's to you guys. If we can see a couple more power taps, a few more power taps so we can get the likes up to 300K, I would greatly appreciate it for the next couple of minutes. It's going to be one of those nights. So I'm just trying to wade through these waters, man. I'm just trying to wade through these waters. You have no idea what a Nazi is. You are uneducated. Do you support Nazis? What? What? Don't call people stupid, call them uninformed. There are uninformed and then there's stupid people. That guy who called in was fucking stupid. You know why he was stupid? Because he calls in to my live and several others on a daily basis with informed people who try to inform him on how his actions are contradictory. And he keeps fucking doing the same thing. He will never accept anything that you present to him. He will never process. He will never acknowledge. That person is stupid. Because I think there's some point that's one of the issues that I have. I know Pete Buttigieg, I think it's Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg, Graham Plattner, and all these other Democrats love to water it down. You weren't stupid or anything. You were just misled. You were misled. And we have to come together because that sounds great on the campaign trail. It gets people to vote for you who otherwise wouldn't. Good for them. Here, I'm going to call you stupid. The reason why I'm going to call you stupid because too many of you have been fucking coddled. Too many of you fucking coddled. Too many of you, on a daily basis, are willfully uninformed. You're willfully obtuse. You're willfully ignorant. And that's where I call you stupid. It's one thing if you just don't know shit. It's another thing when it's being presented to you on a daily basis and you ignore it. You choose to dance around it. You make excuses for it. Consistently bringing up shit like, oh, I'm not saying I support the Trump administration. I don't care if you support them. You're sitting at home doing nothing. And then you're criticizing the people who actually are utilizing their right to vote to try to change the trajectory of this country, to try to save people, and you're criticizing them while you sit at home. And everything that we're voting for benefits you. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like what? What are we doing? What are you doing? Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark. Shut up. How about that? There you go. Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the Tube side, you may call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. You know where my GOP side comes out? This is where my GOP sides come out. When we have conversations about stuff like this. My GOP side comes out when TikTok terms of service makes me censor certain words. Because I think certain things, when they're talked about, it needs to hit, right? I hate the fact that I have to put a G in front of, I hate saying grape. I hate saying grape. I hate saying schmurder. I hate not being able to name substances. I hate all of that stuff. I hate it. Reason why I hate that is because we're having serious conversations about these things, how certain policies can impact these things, how certain people have 27 allegations against them for it, specifically with adults and minors, and 77 million people were unfazed by it. I hate having to water that shit down. I hate the fact that you can get a harassment and bullying flag for someone who comes up here, calls me every slur in the book, and then God forbid I say their idiot brain's getting fucked by stupid, and then TikTok flags me. I hate that shit. I hate it with a passion. I think we would benefit from a less sensitive society. But that's funny because the Trump administration is literally one of the most sensitive fucking groups of people on the face of the earth. The biggest, fattest snowflakes. Absolute snowflakes. The tolerant left. Why do you care about tolerance? I thought you were tough as stone. I thought you didn't care what anyone thinks. Now you want to cry tolerance? What? And then you want us to be tolerant of bigotry. You want us to be tolerant of your misinformation. You want us to be tolerant of your fuckery. Like, no, absolutely not. I'm going to call it like it is. You're going to hate it. And if you have an IQ above room temperature, if you can actually comprehend things, if you choose to use the maximum potential of your brain that every person can, you would see it the same way. Mind you, we're not talking about like certain social issues. We're talking about like taxes. We're talking about healthcare. We're talking about civil rights enforcement. These things should be universally agreed on, for the most part, are when you actually do polling by the majority of people. Makes no sense. The entitled right? Yeah. They experience a ton of that. Caitlin, did you vote for Trump?
I did. Someone just invited me up. I actually didn't request that, but
you accepted it.
Yeah, I accepted it. I'm happy to discuss. I will say before I get into it, I kind of voted on the lesser of two evils. I don't necessarily like Trump. I don't think he's a good person, but I also don't think whenever a liberal runs any city anywhere it ever goes well. So I'm not going to vote for a liberal. So that is why I voted for him, but I'm not like a huge Trump supporter.
Do you have a Republican city that you can compare to these quote unquote rundown liberal cities?
Yeah, I mean, basically you can look at like Texas is a government run state.
Every state's a government run state.
No, the governor of Texas is a Republican. Also, Indianapolis.
Said governor-run state. Every state has a governor.
Oh, sorry, I meant Republican run. Sorry, I meant Republican run. Like if you look primarily at Republican run or red states versus blue states, right? A lot of blue states, and I'm originally from Seattle, are filled with crime.
I don't know why you're going to states. Hold on, you said cities.
Needles.
You said cities.
Yes.
You were specifically nitpicking cities. So I asked you to give me an example of a Republican city.
Cities within blue and red states. Kansas City is an example of a red city that's doing pretty well. There's not a ton of homeless.
What's the population of Kansas City?
I don't know the exact population. I want to say it's like a little less than 1 million. I think it's like a little less than 1 million.
So I was making 2 points. I was making 1 point, then you just gave me another. There's no such thing as a major red city. The majority of cities in the United States, including the ones that reside in red states, are blue. It's almost as if it's automatic that the more infrastructure you have, the more jobs you have, the more cleaning, so on and so forth, it happens to turn blue. People happen to vote for blue candidates. The major cities in red states are blue. There's no such thing as a major red city. Secondly, Kansas City is blue.
Okay. Oklahoma City, Colorado Springs, Fort Worth, Virginia Beach, Lubbock, Texas. There's a lot of cities that are red, so that's just not true.
So I said major,
yes,
major city.
Yeah.
If you want to bring up counties with populations of 100,000, maybe 200,000, you may find some red ones. Major blue cities.
Fort Worth is a pretty big
major cities
city.
are blue.
So yeah, I'd say the biggest cities in the U.S. are blue, but what I'm talking about is cities that are like incredibly blue.
Again,
so when you look at
cities.
Yes, right, but cities like Seattle, which are overwhelmingly liberal, and the whole state of Washington. Washington's the only state that voted more blue this last election. Every other state voted more red, except Washington.
Where you'd be getting that from.
And so I grew up in Seattle, and the problem is, the problem is with liberals is they just keep giving more and more money, more and more money. We need more money. We need more money. Guess what? Nothing ever changes. Why do you think every year we spend billions on homeless, nothing changes? Why do we send trillions of dollars to Africa to fix hunger? Nothing ever happened.
Flag. The fuck?
Again, this TikTok China run app, they're gonna just flag everything. It's exactly this, the leftist shit.
What do you mean China run app?
This is a Chinese app. And this is leftist communist shit that just shuts things down. So I'm sure you got a flag for nonsense. Seems right.
Are you unaware of the U.S. deal? Specifically Oracle? For TikTok's purchase?
So TikTok was originally created in China. Okay,
yeah, the originality is irrelevant. The United States has more stock in this now.
Okay, but it is
Donald Trump passed executive order after executive order to stop the permanent banning of this until the U.S. acquired it, and they did. They were able to implement their own.
All those tech giants are liberals. All those tech giants are leftist.
Oh, now the tech giants are liberals. Okay.
They are. No, literally. Name a single. Besides Elon Musk, name a single tech CEO that's a Republican. Facebook CEO is liberal. Same with Bezos. Same with all of them.
No, actually, so in 2019 and again in 2022, employees that ran the algorithm over at Meta actually explicitly stated that the right-wing content gets more views and more clicks, so it gets pushed more on their platform.
It's also easier to digest because it's brainless, but that's just my criticism. Anyways.
Yeah, and she also brought up Colorado Springs, Colorado, which it has an independent mayor. It is not Republican nor Democrat.
Okay. My point being is super
Also, which Kansas city were you talking about? Because did you know that there's more than one?
Okay, I'm talking about Kansas City, like the main Kansas City. Missouri.
Kansas City.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Both blue, to be fair.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it used to be at least red. I don't know. My point being is, if you look at liberal policy, okay, so let's say all the big cities are liberal. They're all in the shitter, okay? There's homeless everywhere. There's people doing rugs on the street. There's crime, rampant crime.
Substances.
Trump has decreased
people
crime
doing
rates by
substances doesn't make your
9.5%
city
this
a
year.
shit city. People do substances
Yeah, it does.
everywhere.
When kids step in it,
There's
when
just
kids are
a
stepping in needles and
concentrated dosage
not
of
good.
said abuse in cities because there's more people in the cities.
No, it's because there's homeless doing
There's more
G-rugs.
access and opportunities
there's
for people
homeless
to
doing
do said
rugs
things.
all over the place.
Yeah,
because they're decriminalizing
because there's
crime.
more
When you
people.
let me tell you something. When you decriminalize crime and you say
Name
you can run out
statute.
of a store and steal
Caitlin,
things and we can't
Caitlin,
chase you,
Caitlin,
you can get away with
Caitlin,
whatever you want. What do you think's going to
Caitlin.
happen?
Name a statute, Caitlin, that decriminalized crime.
In Seattle, they said that if you have less
Do you know
than
what a statute is?
Yeah, let me pull it
Okay,
up. In
cool.
Seattle, if you have less than $200 worth of things on you, they are not allowed to chase you out of the store. That is a policy that has been put in
That
place
is a
that is
policy
legalizing
in
crime.
every single state. What is the number in
Nope.
Texas? What's the number in Texas?
In Texas, you're allowed to chase people out. You know why?
What's
I
the
live in Austin.
what's the
They don't fuck
threshold?
around
What's the
here.
threshold? Wow, this is embarrassing for you. What's the threshold in Texas?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me Google it.
This like smells already similar to what is it? In California, where they passed a law that says if you steal less than $750, it's
Right.
not a felony.
And they can't chase you out of the store. Theft in third degree. Anything under $750 is classified as a gross misdemeanor. And guess what? They're not chasing people out anymore. The police can't do anything.
No, that's
I'm sorry.
false.
I'm sorry. What are you reading?
That is
Is
what's
that in
happening.
Texas? Is that in
Okay, I'm
Texas?
from
Hey,
Seattle.
Caitlin. Is what you just read in Texas 750?
No, this is a Washington law.
What the fuck? You literally were supposed to look up Texas and tell me what it is.
I'm telling you, in these liberal
tell me what it is
states,
in Texas.
Okay. I need Caitlin to sorry, no, actually I'm not gonna say that nothing.
There is absolutely nothing you can take in Texas and legally get away with it. They don't have that code like they do in Washington. So
my God.
Go look it up. Texas Penal Code 31.03, the unlawful appropriation of any property.
Caitlin,
you're not allowed to take anything.
I have a serious question for you. Is a misdemeanor still a crime?
The thing is, in Seattle, they're not.
No, Caitlin.
A misdemeanor isn't like technically maybe it is a crime, but it's not really punishable. They're not really they're not punishing upon it. Okay.
You still get jail time.
Nope. Then how come in Seattle people are running out of stores with bags of things and they're not doing anything? And that is only happening.
I don't care about your anecdotes.
No, look, you guys are just.
I don't care about your
conversations with people who just cannot accept the facts. Why do you think every business has left Seattle? Why is Boeing, Amazon, Starbucks leaving? Why is there
Amazon's
fucking? They spend $70,000 per home.
Hey Caitlin, shut up. In Texas, stealing becomes a felony. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate you. Stealing becomes a felony when the total value of the stolen property reaches $2,500 or more. Under Texas Penal Code 31.03, any theft below this amount is prosecuted as a misdemeanor unless specific exemptions apply. This is reflected across the United States in every single state. Different states have different thresholds before it's a felony, but all of them are misdemeanors. Unless you're now going to change your argument and say that Texas welcomes you to steal less than $2,500 worth of stuff before they prosecute you.
That's crazy.
You guys can choose to ignore facts and walk around.
You're the literal person who ignored a fact. You're the literal person who, upon me bringing up the fact that it's in every single state. Hey, can you address the fact that Texas is ignoring crime? Can you address that Texas is ignoring crime? Texas is not ignoring crime.
They're enforcing. Hey,
Caitlin, hey, Caitlin. Can you acknowledge that Texas is not enforcing the law if you steal $2,499 worth of stuff? Can you address that? Because I just pulled it up for you.
We're gonna still put you in jail.
Can you address? Wait. Oh, what kind of crime? What kind of crime is that? What kind of crime is that?
It could be a misdemeanor, but
okay. Are misdemeanors prosecutorial offenses? Are misdemeanors prosecutorial offenses?
You're still not clocking.
Are misdemeanors prosecutorial offenses?
They can still put you in jail, correct?
Oh, okay. Wait. This is perfect, Hector. But Caitlin, you just told me that misdemeanor offenses don't net you jail time. So are you changing your tune?
Because in Seattle they don't. In Seattle they don't. They don't. Yes. Let me explain. Pause. Let me explain.
No, Caitlin, I don't have to pause.
Some states choose to criminalize misdemeanors.
Sorry, I muted you for a second because you just want to steamroll. I need you to walk back what you said or acknowledge that you were wrong. I just invited you to unmute. Before you go anywhere else, you need to acknowledge this.
Please.
Okay. So my point, and I may have misspoken.
So you were wrong.
I apologize if I said something incorrect. My point being was that in Seattle...
So you were wrong.
You're allowed... Sure, I'm wrong. My point being was in Seattle, they don't criminalize misdemeanors, whereas in places like Texas, they actually will. So they're not enforcing the law.
Define criminalize.
They're not enforcing
Define
the law.
Criminalize.
They're for example, let's say let me explain. So let me say, for example, you go into a store and you take out things.
Go to
no, I
jail
live there.
for
You don't.
Misdemeanors
You
in
don't know
Seattle.
what you're talking about.
According to Washington state attorneys, you go to jail for misdemeanors.
And you don't. I'm telling you, you don't. I have plenty of videos. It's all over the news in Seattle of people taking a bunch of stuff and walking out of stores. They walk out of stores with no punishment.
I have videos of Bigfoot.
They're not allowed to chase them out. Here, they actually enforce the law. So places they're choosing not to enforce the law. Okay.
First off,
Caitlin.
Go ahead, Ari.
So I have videos of Bigfoot. Does that make Bigfoot real?
If you have video evidence, yeah, potentially. I'd like to see it. If you had evidence that he's real, yeah, maybe he is. I'm not counting that out. My point is, there are places that enforce law and places that don't. And in the places that aren't enforcing law, there's lawless crime running amok, and there's just people getting away with literally absolutely anything. They don't punish the homeless. They set them right back out on the street. We spend billions of dollars in Seattle on
Caitlin, you're
every
dead
year
wrong.
The number goes up.
You're
Every
dead
year the
wrong
number goes
about
up.
everything that
If
you're
you build
saying.
it,
You are dead wrong about every single thing that you're saying. Every single thing. Misdemeanors are prosecutorial offenses. Not to mention certain stores have policies to encourage the safety of their employees not to run after individuals who steal from their stores because of the risk it poses to that person and the liability if they are harmed. Walgreens is very big on that. They do not encourage you to run after folks. And that can even include guards or security that they hire overnight. They do not, on average, have them running after people who steal fucking Dove bars. They have insurance for that. Insurance that covers theft to a certain amount. That's why. And that's prominent in every single state. And then what happens when you go ahead and chase down people who allegedly stole something despite there being reports of them having a receipt? Cops end up shooting into cars and killing 1-year-old fucking babies. We do not waste, or we should not waste resources. We shouldn't shut the fuck up when I'm fucking talking. We do not waste resources, or should not waste resources, on going after fucking Dove bars and diapers and goddamn food versus other things.
She put her child in that position. The child was in
by being in a car.
She put the child in front of the gun. The child was in the front seat. God forbid and this is why if you can't afford to have kids, don't have them. Stop having reckless, undetected sex. If you cannot afford it,
hey, Caitlin,
and there's plenty of resources like
Caitlin, why do you believe, Caitlin, why are you so red-pilled? Also, Hector, I sent you kind of
Why are you so brainwashed by the leftist media?
Caitlin,
you can't open your eyes. Why are you so brainwashed? It's a concern. It is a disease.
I think people like you are the goddamn disease.
Look at it. Thank you guys for all the hearts. It is a disease. Okay.
Cops have policies and a way that they have to engage with individuals. That cop violated his. You do not have a right to shoot into vehicles over allegedly stealing diapers.
Yeah,
and now you're saying someone put themselves in that position. So then every single person who then would have participated on January 6th would have had a right to get a bullet to the face because of the position they put themselves into by storming the Capitol.
Imagine saying that it's the mother's fault for waiting for her husband to come out of a store with the baby in the car. That's fucking crazy.
First of all, the car was driving towards the cop and the baby was in the front seat, unbuckled in no car seat. The mom was being reckless
and was the one to claim that she was driving towards the cop with the intent of killing them. You are lying.
If you are going to do that and put your child in danger, that is extremely unfortunate. I'm so sad a life was lost, genuinely. But at the end of the day, people need to take accountability.
This is the same logic that you guys use with Renee Cole-Good. When she was trying to drive out of the way of the officer, you said that she put her life in danger and deserved to get shot. When that was the complete opposite of the case, as proven and confirmed by Jonathan Ross's phone camera footage.
Nope.
Every single negative interaction someone has with a cop, you guys say they deserve to die for it. It's fucking gross. Why are you guys such bootlickers? The fuck?
You would also be like, you would also be completely wrong based off of the Department of Justice own policy, the Department of Homeland Security's own policy about use of force manual, and the fact that officers aren't supposed to walk in front of a vehicle, period. Point blank, period, Caitlin. You're also going to be wrong when it comes to case law. Brosseau v. Haugen explicitly states that the officer does not get away with shooting a suspect that is fleeing the scene because they place themselves in the line of danger. That's called officer-induced jeopardy, which is not an excuse to kill someone. There has been.
If you're
Don't interrupt me.
driving
Do
towards
not
a
interrupt
police,
me, Caitlin.
you've
Do not
muted me
interrupt
100
me.
times. I'm about to leave. I'm not going to debate someone who can't debate. I'm not going to do it.
Caitlin, learn to
gonna do it.
control yourself and do not interrupt me. I was still talking. Thank you. Fantastic. There's at least 5 other case laws that I could go into and break down for you, but I'm afraid that your red pill induced brain is too far gone to understand this. But the point of the matter is, point blank period, there is no justification for shooting a fleeing suspect that's explicitly against, guess what? Department of Justice and Department of Homeland Security's own policies, where you do not shoot a fleeing suspect in a vehicle moving towards you, is not a justification to shoot somebody. Funny enough, Rousseau v. Hagen was specifically about that, where in this case, guess what? The defendant, the person that was shot by an officer, actually was trying to harm the officer. Isn't that funny?
They literally don't know the law. They just know their feelings.
When you are driving towards an officer and you have put your child in harm by putting it in the front. No, I'm going to talk now. I let you talk and I'm going to talk and you're going to
respond to what she said, which was the law and not your feelings. Respond to the law, respond to their policy procedures that they have to follow, be held in contempt, or run. That actually works. That actually works just fine. Just fine.
God damn.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Y'all gift Ari. I only put the drop pool up to 20 because we already got 30 for the last permit ban and that guy ran. So I gave y'all a freebie and you still couldn't fucking do it. Can we take care of Ari while she's here, please? I would appreciate it. Trump supporters don't know shit. They don't know shit. Literally said blue states encourage fucking crime. And then Texas says, hey, $2,499, and it's just a misdemeanor. That's how it works in every state, by the way. There's a threshold before it's a misdemeanor, before a felony. That's every fucking state. Every state.
Yep. And it's like, yes, some states allow, like, they leave it up as a Fourth Amendment right. So the reason why large retailers don't allow their employees, especially those in the stop loss department, to chase after, Summer, don't bark, to chase after shoplifters is specifically because, guess what? It could be an infringement upon their Fourth Amendment rights by being stopped forcibly by someone.
That is correct. Goober, did you vote for Trump?
Well, I wasn't able to vote, but I would have voted for him now.
Okay.
Because I'm 18 now.
Calling on the line, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Do you regret your vote?
Absolutely not.
Why is that?
Bunch of different reasons. A whole lot of different. Let me ask you this: why do you dislike Trump?
Why do I dislike Trump? Because Donald Trump does not respect the Constitution.
You do not respect the Constitution. Okay. Do you think that the left has any respect for the values that this country was founded on? Bill of Rights, Constitution?
The left overwhelmingly respects the Constitution and the rule of law compared to the Republican Party. We can start off by not supporting and voting in a 34 count convicted felon.
Well, to be fair, he is from Queens, and I'm from Queens too. So he got shot at, and
I don't know what that has to do with the conversation. How many times he got shot at, or where he's from.
Do you believe in free speech? Because I think that the left is the only side that really tries to shut down free speech.
W's in the chat to Stacy for the $1.99 super chat. These people are embarrassing every single day, Stacy. Every single day. W's in the chat to Melissa for the $2 super chat. Caller, get out your algorithm. They lying to you. Shout out to you, Melissa. I appreciate your support. Anyone else will support the platform? Super chat, super sticker over on the YouTube side, or links in the bio on the description of that stream, with a bio here on Tickety Talk. Cool. Donald Trump said that he took freedom of speech away, specifically after he passed an executive order that would prosecute people or throw them in jail for up to a year for burning the American flag, which was protected under the First Amendment as freedom of expression.
Well, it didn't get passed, though.
It did.
So we're just talking
it
about
did.
what if.
Do you know how executive orders work?
So I guarantee you, sir, in it doesn't matter what state, territory you're in.
Do you know how executive orders work?
To burn the flag.
Do you know how executive orders work?
Conversation and you're already lying? Come on now.
Do you know how executive orders work? Well, actually, never mind. Clearly you don't, because you said it's not passed. Executive order is not something that would pass in, say, a House or Senate body. It is something that the president signs, something he drafts up and executes, and then it's up to the courts to block it or stop it if it violates the law, which is exactly what they did.
I just looked it up. I'm telling you, that's part of it's protected by the First Amendment. You're just wrong. You have the absolute right to burn the flag.
No shit, Sherlock. Donald Trump disagrees with you. He passed the executive order to prosecute individuals for doing so. That's the whole point that I was trying to make here. Congratulations.
Yeah, but then now we're talking about what if, it's like, what if...
No, I'm not talking about a what if. An executive order was executed. He did it already.
But it wasn't passed, though. Like, it's still protected under the First Amendment.
Oh, my fucking God.
Right. Caller, hi.
This has been them all day.
It was an executive order. An executive order is something that the president signs. And so, yes, you are correct. It is not law, right? However, it shows his intentions, and he acknowledged when he signed the executive order, I'm taking away freedom of speech. When he signed that executive order, so he knowingly, openly acknowledged that he was violating the First Amendment of the Constitution.
It's almost a direct quote, by the way.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You guys say that you guys supposedly respect free speech, right? So why is it that, like, every time, like, Antifa does, like, a rally and a conservative news reporter goes to interview people at the rally, they always get shouted down, a lot of the times attacked, censored. You guys are all about censorship, and I feel like
get shouted out. That is freedom of speech.
Literally fucking freedom of speech. What are we doing?
I know, but you're trying to stop somebody else's freedom of speech, though. That's not free to, like, they're not saying anything. They're literally just standing in front of the camera.
And if they shout at a reporter, then that's literally everyone utilizing their freedom of speech.
Yes, it is, but you can't use your speech to shut down somebody else's speech. That goes against the First Amendment. And a lot of these times, these people,
you literally can yell at someone who's yelling at you. You can literally drown out someone saying something by you saying something, and both of you would be fucking protected, my guy.
But what if you just don't say anything and you just go and stand in front of the camera and literally just try to stop free speech from happening? So if two people are talking, why is it your business?
What the fuck are you talking about?
If a conservative news reporter is interviewing somebody, why is it your business to go over there and interrupt their conversation?
If they choose to antagonize them, they choose to antagonize them. What the fuck does that have to do with the First Amendment?
Still freedom of speech. If they get in the way of their camera, that's not
stupid.
Like,
the reason why the left
also, let's be clear. Freedom of speech is more so freedom of speaking out against the government. My guy.
Well, more like it protects you against governmental intervention. So where are these? Yeah, where are the individuals that are working apparently for the government that are stopping freedom of speech?
I mean, look at all the people that got prosecuted and banned for, like, trying to talk about the COVID vaccine. Like, all you guys do is run off censorship.
Yeah, no, actually, so this is funny. I read something very interesting on this today. So it's so odd how this comes up like the same day I've researched something. No, so I'll repeat to you what I've said to the last guest. So apps like Meta, that's what you would be referring to, use AI bots. And what they taught these AI bots to do was base information on approved CDC data that was released at the time to then filter, and also from the World Health Organization, to then filter through posts on their application that were not in line with CDC or the WHO, and they would filter those out. And again, Meta has admitted more than once that their platform sees a higher push of right-wing content, it gets more clicks and more views and generates more money for them. They just also use shitty language that gets them yoinked by their own AI bots. So the right-wing content gets pushed more, but they say more shitty shit, so they get yoinked.
Thank you so much, Stacy, for becoming a member over on the YouTube. WCU Stacy, I appreciate your support. Please make sure you check out the perks because you have a couple as a member. Anyone else wants support the platform, you may do so in that fashion. Also, feel free to continue to do all the good things, guys. Thank you so much for getting us over 300,000 likes on the Tube side, TikTok side, and over 100 likes on the YouTube side. Let's try to get for 200 on YouTube and shoot for 400,000 likes here on Tickety Talk. Take care of Ari while she's here. She also has links in her bio, and I want to hear her say several thank yous as well. Back to this guy. So the left is not against freedom of speech. You can pull up individual cases of like private institutions choosing to enforce harassment and bullying policies, misinformation policies, specifically the fact checker that existed before the pandemic came around on Facebook, pushed down content that wasn't verified yet until it was fact checked before COVID. And then the government worked alongside these institutions to put an additional quote unquote censor on things that were wrong information. And then Mark Zuckerberg himself said he ultimately agreed to do it. He's the one who chose to do it. The pressure from the government was irrelevant. He chose to do said thing. That wasn't the government censoring everyone. That was a private institution choosing to push forward certain content versus suppressing others.
Well, here's the thing. Corporations are ultimately people at the end of the day. And if these corporations, that's why Elon Musk buying Twitter saved freedom of speech in the West largely, because if he would have never done that, so much more disinformation would have just been running rampant. Like
Facebook was not challenged.
Like,
their First Amendment right as a person was not challenged.
Which is why they didn't win anything in court.
Precisely.
I love how you guys just play dumb. Like, the whole point of the left is to literally censor.
We're the ones playing dumb. You're the ones bringing up wrong cases to substantiate your bullshit point, and we're the dumb ones. I love it when you guys, brainless as you are, come up here and call us dumb.
All the time.
Literally gave you an instance of Donald Trump saying out of his own mouth, we took freedom of speech away. We took freedom of speech away. Passed an executive order that challenged it alongside several others that did the same, which we haven't gotten into. And your next argument was Facebook and COVID. That's the best you had. That's the best you had.
No,
Can you name a Democratic president? Can you name a Democratic president who bragged about taking freedom of speech away?
The freedom of speech, yeah, I do think that, absolutely. I mean, look at what's happening in the United Kingdom.
What do you mean you do think that? That wasn't my question, stupid. I fucking asked you, can you name a Democratic president who bragged about taking freedom of speech away? That was the question, dum-dum. Pay attention.
A Democratic president that bragged about taking freedom of speech away. Why would a Democratic president brag about doing something he knows that's unconstitutional instead of just doing it and keeping his mouth shut?
Why would a Republican president brag about doing something that's unconstitutional and the courts who interpret the law have to block him?
I mean, I'm not really against jailing people that burn the flag,
So then you're against the Constitution. That's exactly why I do not support you and your base, because you guys are anti-Constitution. You're anti-American. You're anti-patriotic.
I would say we definitely love America more than you guys, because you would jail people that misgender somebody if you guys ran the country.
Nope. But Donald Trump has attempted to go after people who identify as transgender, aligning them as criminals and sex abusers of children, despite there being no evidence of the sort. He's literally contested them not being put in the DSM-5 as gender dysphoria, like mental or transgenderism, being transgender as a mental disability. That would be the Trump administration, even going as far as trying to explore, trying to take their firearms away from them solely based off of being trans.
It is a mental disorder.
It's not. Not according to the DSM-5. I do not give a fuck about your personal opinions on what a mental disorder is, because quite frankly, I can go down the same logic and say that you have a mental disorder every time you support Trump. TDS bastard. Shut up. Go ahead,
And
Ari.
even gender
So this
dysphoria is being
conversation is
removed from
literally
the
proving
DSM-6.
in live time why people in the center lean right, because you guys
Yes,
play
because you
dumb.
guys
You
are
guys
fucking moronic.
create
You guys are fucking
like
moronic. Say something smart. Say something smart.
100.
Say
Say
something
something
smart.
smart. 100 genders exist. This is like, yo, that's something you guys would
I
say,
mean,
like,
I don't
oh,
know if
yo,
it's
stop
100,
the
but more than
BS,
2
bro.
exist.
Like,
Congratulations. That's the smartest thing you've said on this platform. Definitely more than 2 genders exist. Good job. Lushan, go ahead and tell me about how the government pressured Facebook and violated their freedom of speech.
There was an article, I think, that came out a couple months ago where basically Facebook admitted that there were people that was a part of the Biden administration that was communicating with Facebook and telling them to censor speech or posts that were more right-leaning,
Nope.
especially during the 2020
Wrong.
pandemic
It's COVID
period.
related.
Yeah.
It was COVID related. It was COVID related, not right leaning. It was COVID related information.
It wasn't, but it was opinions or perspective at that time that would have been considered to be right leaning in regards to the
It was
COVID
misinformation
pandemic
in
and
regards to the pandemic, regards to the vaccine, regards on ways to treat it. That was the content they were asked to censor, and some of it may have even included humor because of people taking it seriously. That is correct. That is what Mark Zuckerberg
But
confirmed
either
in his
way,
August
whether-
26, 2024 letter. And he also confirmed in that letter that it was ultimately his decision. He referenced the pressure, never a force.
Right. I understand that it was ultimately his decision because he is the CEO of Facebook. But at the end of the day, it was the Biden administration
I'm
that
aware
put
of
the
the
pressure
pressuring.
on
Who
him
cares?
to
I'm
do
glad
that.
they did.
So
It was a good thing.
Right, but either way, that's like the government indirectly censoring free
No, it's not.
speech. Even if, yes, it is. If you're pressuring a
it's not.
private
If they were
company to
indirectly
restrict,
censoring free speech, they would have been indirectly actually restricting their content, giving them less, let's say, tax breaks, so on and so forth. That's them
but
indirectly censoring free
if the
speech. They
government is
didn't.
going to a private company and say, "I want you to do this thing," again, this is the government. This is not even a state government or local government. The federal government is going to a private company and saying, "We
These
want
private
you
companies have to follow
limit."
laws within the region that they reside.
But there was
On
no
top of
law.
I'm aware of there being no law, but I'm saying private institutions do not get fucking free for alls. Let's make that super duper clear.
I
And
understand
the
that,
government
but there
has
was-
every single right to pressure you to do something specific in response to a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic, and individuals on your
even though
platform
it's
who spread gross amounts of
unconstitutional,
harm that led to the death of Americans.
So even though it's unconstitutional, the government can pressure private companies to.
It's not unconstitutional to work with private companies, and some pressure that was alleged to Mark Zuckerberg. That's not unconstitutional. The force is unconstitutional. Pressure isn't unconstitutional.
No, but they're pressuring private companies to do something that is
What?
technically unconstitutional.
No, it's not unconstitutional.
it's not.
No. If you asking
right back,
someone
Ari.
to do something, no worries. Asking a company to make a move, change a policy is not unconstitutional because it specifically, the First Amendment protects individuals and their rights from being punished by the government for utilizing their First Amendment. So can you tell me where Meta was punished?
I'm sorry, I got a call and I didn't hear what you said. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So can you show me where the government punished Meta for using their
The
First
government
Amendment
didn't.
rights?
No, they didn't. They didn't
They
punish
didn't.
them. All
Okay.
I'm-
Then that's why, LaShawn, that it is not a violation of their First Amendment rights because that's specifically what the First Amendment protects when it comes to the government and individuals and private organizations, especially when it comes to the First Amendment. You have to have been punished in some type of way by the government for your First Amendment rights to be kicked in, for it to be considered unconstitutional. A request is not a violation. No, so then you
Okay.
have to stop. If you understand, LaShawn, then you cannot call it.
You guys are not
LaShawn,
allowing people to
LaShawn,
speak on
if
this
you
panel.
understand, then you cannot call it
I
unconstitutional.
listen. I never said that I completely agree, or I was. Can I finish my sentence, or do you guys just want to just go on and talk and lecture?
If you can agree, because here's the thing, you cannot call it unconstitutional if you understand that Meta was not prosecuted or held accountable or sued or had hold on, or had this is also me saying it so Hector catches back up. You cannot say it was unconstitutional, right? If you understand that the government under Joe Biden or his administration did nothing to punish Meta or strip away their First Amendment rights.
Okay, that's okay. I understand. I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, the government, the federal government, talking to a private institution or company and telling them to censor, right, certain speech that the government does not agree with. It's not unconstitutional for Meta to tell people to allow certain posts on their platform or to not allow certain posts on their platform. I'm understanding that, but the fact that the government did that,
you know what I can't
they should
stand,
not have done that.
I can't stand it when people say they understand that they're wrong and then repeat the same wrong bullshit.
I never said that.
I don't give a fuck what you think about the government pressuring the company to do. They had their decision to make. They decided to comply with the request. Because there was no break that they were given or taken away. There was no regulation that was put on them for any of this. They chose to comply with the United States government because of the information posted on their platform was causing harm to Americans. They did exactly what I think social media platforms should do when people are on Facebook literally planning COVID parties. COVID parties. Every fucking time you raise your voice over me to the point where they can't hear me, I'm going to raise my voice. You literally did. You got loud, so I got louder so they can hear me. So as I was saying, when they're on Facebook planning literal COVID parties, places that they can go so they can catch it together and build herd immunity, when they're talking about how sunlight gets rid of it, vaccines don't work, and all this BS, Facebook, as they did with other forms of misinformation on the platform, censored it. Friendly reminder that the Facebook censoring feature was on Facebook long before the pandemic. So you guys keep saying this, they were already doing it. They just got a nudge from the President of the United States, from the Biden administration, to ramp it up during the pandemic because it was a worldwide crisis.
Okay, I understand that, but it still ramped up during the pandemic, even though it was there before. But I didn't even want to talk about... Okay, that's fine. I didn't even want to talk about the whole Facebook censoring thing. I wanted to go back to something because I've listened to you for a little while now. You had mentioned something that you saw on X when someone mentioned that Obama had caused a lot of the racial division that we're dealing with right now. And I was looking into it while you were talking to others, and I wanted to know if you wanted to just talk about that for a second.
Yes, do you have evidence that Obama increased and encouraged the racial divide and division in the United States?
You had said that you saw that someone had mentioned that on X. Yes. You had mentioned something you saw. Yeah.
Trump supporters been saying that for years, and I asked people to come up here if they actually agreed with that.
I do agree with it because I was looking. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine, LaShawn. I'm actually I have to go get ready for my own Hector, so I'm gonna drop down. And I don't want to interrupt this conversation because this is probably an important one to have. So
I appreciate you coming up. All right, guys, Ari is literally about to go live. Make sure you follow her. We're probably going to raid her once we're done here in a couple of minutes. So go ahead and give her a follow, and I appreciate you coming up, Ari. Really quickly before we carry on with this conversation, Debbie's in the chat to Phil for the $2. Oh, okay. Phil said... Actually, Phil, yes, I was actually going to get to this. Trump is legit threatening institutions, not pressuring. He is telling them to make changes based on those wants. Otherwise, he will withhold money or even take them to court. This lady is disillusioned. Pressuring is not the same as threatening with repercussions. Trump is also threatening news outlets and journalists. That is legit breach of the First Amendment. 6,000%. W's in the chat to you, Phil. W's in the chat to Dean for the $2 Venmo. Remind the guests that the Twitter files made it clear that the Trump administration pressured Twitter to remove unflattering comments. That part is true. I forgot about that, actually. W's in the chat to you. Guys, best way to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Hector Talks with 2 R's, and PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. Those of you on the tube side, hit the like button on the stream, subscribe, turn on notification bells. All right, go ahead and tell me how Obama spread or encouraged the racial divide and division in the United States.
Okay, well, that's something that I've also heard before, and I've been taking some time to look into it because, and I'm looking here at Pew Research data that basically shows that there was a change in Americans' perception on race relations, basically significantly declined between 2012 and 2014 during Obama's second term, especially when that was when the rise of Black Lives Matter came around. And there were a lot of things that Obama had said during that time that caused a lot of controversy. And I do think if you look back at that time, there were some things that he could have done better in handling those divisions that came up. And I think towards the end of Obama's second, I'm sorry?
Like what? You
like
bringing
not
up the racial divide
himself.
during his presidency does not substantiate how he encouraged the racial divide.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just going into that. So there's a couple things that he has said. I think one thing in particular was when he said that he could have been Trayvon Martin 35 years ago. And he basically chose a side during that whole thing before the case was even brought through the courts.
Do you remember the case of Trayvon Martin?
I do.
What happened?
Based on what I remember, because I haven't looked into it in a little while, Trayvon Martin, I think he was suspected of either trespassing or something of that sort. George Zimmerman followed him. They got into a fight, I think it was, and Trayvon Martin passed away during that incident. I'm trying to be TikTok friendly here.
Make sure I'm getting this story accurately before I go over it here. Passed away. You said passed away. How did he pass away?
Again, I just said I was trying to be TikTok friendly because I know TikTok can be real sensitive when you say certain words.
He was
unalived.
Murdered.
Okay, I get because some Facebook's TikTok lives you can't say that word. You have to say schmurdered or whatever the case may be. So yes,
you didn't even say who caused him to pass away. You just said passed away.
Okay, fine. Continue on with your saying. What were you saying? Go ahead.
The officer alleges that he acted in self-defense and there was no evidence to support said claim. He was walking home like regular 17-year-olds do, and he was followed around because of this criminality that this officer suspected him of. And then whatever the altercation was, which according to Zimmerman was violent, he died. He was killed.
Mm-hmm.
This was amid racial unrest specifically, which I'm going to say racial unrest. That's white people getting pissy because cops were unjustly killing black boy after black boy after black girl. And there being no evidence to support their claims of self-defense. Qualified immunity protecting them from responsible repercussions because I feared for my life. And then he died. Oh, did I say officer? No, incorrect. Incorrect. I'm mixing them up. Mix up. Hold on, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Because I was thinking of what's his name. No, he wasn't an officer. Oh yeah, this was just a fucking civilian. Guy. Okay, I mixed up the cases. Thank you. Even worse.
Right, but my point in bringing that up was saying when I don't want to call it an incident, but when that happened, at that point, the details of the case, it wasn't legitimized. It had not gone through the court. And Obama inserted himself on the conversation on one side, which my point is he increased the racial division that already started at that time.
What did Obama say about, hold on. What did Obama say about wins? Let's do could have been me. His statement specifically was, Mr. Obama said that African Americans felt Mr. Obama said the pain that African Americans felt around the case came from the fact that they viewed it through a set of experiences and a history that doesn't go away. He said African Americans were also keenly aware of racial disparities in the application of criminal laws. Quote, that all contributes to a sense that if a white male teen was involved in the same kind of scenario, both the outcome and the aftermath might have been different, end quote. When Trayvon Martin was first shot, I said that this could have been my son. Another way of saying that is Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago. He shared his experiences of being racially profiled in the past, such as being followed while out shopping. There are very few African American men who haven't had the experience of walking across the street and hearing the locks click on the doors of cars. There are very few African Americans who haven't had the experience of getting on an elevator and a woman clutching her purse nervously and holding her breath until she has a chance to get off. How does this do racial divide?
Because even in his statements, it's very subjective. Even the way he said it, there's very few African Americans. Well, how would you say this? Do you know all the instances where African Americans have felt racially profiled? As a president, again, he's the president of the United States. Please don't tell me
you're about to fall back on the if every single black person didn't experience this, there wouldn't be a shared experience amongst black Americans.
That is not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that as president, right? He was president of the. What did you say?
Carry on. Go ahead.
Okay, I was saying that as president of the United States of America, his aim should be to unite the country and not to continue to stoke the racial divisions, which anything. Is basically he encouraged it.
No, he didn't. He literally tied what happened to Trayvon Martin with his personal experiences as an African-American man being racially profiled for the color of his skin. Obama, one of the most educated, well-spoken, well-kept black men here in the country, decided to relate to an experience that Trayvon Martin experienced, except where Trayvon Martin was killed for it. He was killed for being perceived as suspicious. And I'm sure you know the rulings of the case. So you know that the man was held fucking accountable for what he did. So you now is trying to say that Donald Trump bringing awareness to that issue, talking about what African Americans experience, Obama, talking about those experiences is stoking a racial divide is insane. Literally, by your logic, it is insane because you're saying that no black person can talk about racism in the United States, or you're encouraging a racial divide.
That is not at all what I said. I said
that is literally what you're saying,
right? That is not what I said.
So the president can't speak about racism. So the president can't speak about racism.
No, I never said the president can't speak about racism. My initial point was that when this incident occurred, it was before the case was brought to court. There was nobody knew the details. It was simply what the basic information that the public knew, and that's when Obama made his statement. As president, I think he has a responsibility to wait for the details to come out, to wait for it to go through court, to actually pause.
No.
Because he's supposed to be the leader of the United States of America.
20th July, 2013, President Barack Obama has stated that Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago in his first comments on the case since last week's verdict.
So he said it after the verdict. So he didn't say.
You know what the verdict was? You know what the verdict was? You know what the verdict was?
Wasn't he acquitted?
George Zimmerman, 29, said he opened fire on the teenager in self-defense and was acquitted of murder by a Florida court last week. In an unexpected press call, Mr. Obama said very few black men in the U.S. had not experienced racial profiling. You know what happened? You know when he was first arrested, George Zimmerman?
No, when was he first arrested?
6 weeks after.
Okay.
6 weeks.
But even in a case like that, so even in a case like that, right? You can't assert for sure that George Zimmerman was motivated by race, right? Which is my point. As the president, there's no way for you to go into someone's mind and determine that their actions were driven by specific things, right? Especially when the man was
Zimmerman could not substantiate what was suspicious about Trayvon Martin.
But that doesn't say that.
And he found him to be suspicious. And it was a common commonality amongst black men in the United States, this was specifically in Florida, so it makes even more sense that he was suspicious purely based off of his appearance. His appearance being black.
That's your assumption.
Yeah, sure. You're saying unless we had a mind reader and the mind reader was able to go into his mind and unpack his entire history and how he was raised and what he was told and everything else, and show for a fact that he saw that boy, thought he was a dirty nigger, and decided to shoot him based off of that, we can't say that it was racist. That's literally what you're saying. That's fucking asinine. That's fucking ridiculous.
Is it really? Is it really that ridiculous to assume that someone might have different motivations outside the color of someone's skin to act in a certain way? So are you saying that every single time
what were the other motivations for his suspicious claim? What were the motivation for his suspicious claim then?
What was his motivation? I don't know that many details about the case to say that. But there was no way to prove that he was motivated by the fact that Trayvon Martin was black. And either way, like I was saying before, according to Pew Research data, after Obama's presidency, Americans' perspective on race and racial division decreased. It got worse after his time in office.
Yeah,
and a lot of what happened during...
If you know what, W's in the chat to that dude for the $5 Venmo. I'm starting the black card removal fund for this young woman. I appreciate your donation. I do not co-sign that. I'm sorry. I do not co-sign that. As ridiculous as some of these people sound, no matter what they say, they're still black. No one can take someone's blackness away from them. I get the joke you're trying to make. I cannot co-sign that. Thank you so much for your support, though. W's in the chat to you. So, first and foremost, you were wrong in regards to the comments made and when they were made. He literally didn't speak on this until afterwards. And he only spoke on the fact that he had concerns surrounding this case because of the experience that many black men have gone through, including his own, which is reflected in the data. You can sit here and say that, oh, it's not everyone's experience, or you can have no way whatsoever of knowing George Zimmerman was motivated by race. But that is still the experience of many black men in the United States, and that has been reflected by how the courts treat us. So now you saying Obama stoked racial division by this comment is fucking insane, especially when we have studies, data done, and
I said he encouraged it.
Stoked, encouraged.
I never said he stoked it.
You're wrong on all of it. You're wrong on all of it because you're literally saying he is wrong for telling the truth. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. And first of all, what he's saying is still a subjective opinion. It's not the truth per se. Number one. And number two, the stats that I just...
It's not subjective that there is racial disparities here in the United States amongst black folks and other demographics. That's not subjective.
Well, there's racial disparities with Hispanic. There's racial disparities.
I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about black people. I don't know how the fuck you're bringing up other people. I'm talking about black people. So what he said would be correct.
Automatically mean that
what he said would be correct
because of racism.
Racial disparities have nothing to do with racism?
Not every single racial disparity, just because there's a stat that says black people do worse in this area or even better in this area, is automatically linked to racism. I know that's such a crazy thing that's crazy concept.
No one said that. No one said that. Why are you responding to something that I never said? The fuck?
Literally, that's what you said.
No, fucking not.
So if that's the case, then why was it necessary?
He's speaking specifically on behalf of racial disparities. Racial disparities, which is proven in study after study when we look at specifically the amount of times that an individual with a more culturally black or African American name and then being less likely to get a call back despite having similar or the same, if not better, qualifications than their white counterparts. The same for convicts of the same offenses when they get out. The same with people with more ethnic sounding names, even if we're talking about African American versus fucking straight up African folks. They literally get less calls back. We can look at the fact that white children are babies 3 times more likely to have a healthy childbirth during, like, We're literally talking about racial disparities directly tied to the race of that individual. And you're saying you can't say that it was because of this reason. That doesn't make any sense.
You just argued against your own point. You literally just said, I never said it was because of racism. And you just listed all of these things that you assume were because of racism.
I never said every single racial disparity or like black person doing bad in this or doing not so good in this is directly due to racism. That's what the fuck I said. That was the problem with your comment.
But
if we're specifically talking about, stop and frisk, if we're specifically talking about how the law views us as being more criminal than another, if we're specifically talking about names, so on and so forth, those are directly due to someone's race and how they're being perceived by their white counterparts.
Even all the ones that you listed, it still can't just be boiled down to race. The study relating to the black babies and the survival, I looked into that study, and what it boiled down to, based on what I read, was that parents are more likely to listen to the advice of a doctor that looks like them than per se that black babies are more likely to pass away or be unalive while treated by a white physician. The parents are just more likely to listen to a black doctor.
What? What did you just say?
What did I miss? Did I misspeak? Did you not understand what I was just saying? I looked.
No, I didn't. I actually do want you to repeat it.
Okay, well, I'm assuming we're talking about the same study. I forgot exactly where it came from, but I looked into that claim to say that, black babies are more likely to survive if treated by a black physician. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, and I looked into that study, and when I read through it, for the most of it, what it came down to was also the fact that black parents, the parents of those babies, because at the end of the day, the baby's not making their own healthcare decisions, it's the parents, are more likely to listen to or adhere to the recommendations of a black physician versus a white physician. This is exactly why those numbers are what they are. It's not because
they trust the black physician more to accurately describe and assess their pain and issues compared to their white counterparts, which there may be more cause for suspicion and distrust and doubt,
but that is not to say,
or better yet, straight up malpractice that takes place between the races.
That is not to say, right? Even what you're saying is correct. That's the perception of the parents. That is not to say that all white doctors that treat black babies are racist.
No one said that. Literally, no one said that.
That's what you're insinuating by bringing that up.
I am not.
Basically saying,
fucking God.
Okay. All right. That's not what you were saying. So what was the point of bringing that up?
W's in the chat to Jordan for the $10 Venmo. Seeing a beautiful black woman who doesn't know her worth defend and uphold white supremacy's insanity. I hate it here.
Oh my God. It's so boring.
W's in the chat to Miss Doing Me for the $5 cash app. Drop fun. Take the L, facts over fifis. I mean, we can do that. W's in the chat to Crow for the $2 Venmo. Times like this are when I pay close attention to in the chat to see who's only a friendly when the person agrees with them. Just saying, tons of folks show themselves during these talks. Oh, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. W's in the chat to you. I feel like you responding with the perception or the comfortability of black parents amongst their black doctors would literally cement racism here in the United States, and the reason why black people would have more of a distrust for their white doctors who do not treat them the same way.
Well, you're basically saying that black parents are more racist than because they're perceiving the fact that a black physician...
That perception that you're referencing is verified.
By what?
By historically how black people have been treated in the medical field. Like what?
So who is the problem in this case, the patients or the doctor? So if a black patient is more likely to listen to the recommendations of a black physician versus a white physician, how can you then blame the white physician?
I'm sorry, what?
Bruh. If a black patient, right, is more likely to listen to the recommendations of a black physician.
First off, I still need you to prove that part, actually, really and truly. But yeah, more likely due to the history in this country. But I would like for you to tell me where it's solely based off of perception, or mostly based off of perception. Because now you're just trying to blame the black people for it. You're saying, well, black people decide to trust their own versus other people, and that leads to their own babies dying, which is fucking gross, by the way.
I'm not saying...
I need you to present that.
I'm putting words in your mouth. You're putting words in... I never said that. I literally never said that.
Okay, you've said several things throughout this entire conversation, which would literally only mean one thing, and then when I say the thing, because you won't directly say it, then you say that's not what I said.
Oh, wait, isn't this the cat calling the kettle black? Because I said the same thing about you, and you adamantly disagreed.
No,
because you didn't. Because the fact that you brought up that study, right, about the black babies being more likely to pass away when treated by white physicians versus black physicians, you brought that up to make a point.
Yes,
that you didn't
the point was racism. We can go towards medical malpractice, and we can even say perception. The perception alone would be due to racism. Whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to blame the parents or not, the fact that they even have to have said perception to begin with is because of the racist history the United States have and how they treat black people. They don't just think this way based off of, they don't just wake up and go, and white people treat us this way. There's a track record, there's history, there's studies, there's information that we use in reference to point these disparities out.
Outside of that study, give me another one then.
I mentioned stop and I mentioned stop and frisk.
No, I'm talking about specifically in the healthcare field.
We can go over several. I mean, we can look into maternal mortality, which a large portion of that has to do with weight. I can admit that, but then some of it wasn't entirely covered by weight. You can sit here and drill down medical, but we were talking about racism in the entirety of the United States in several different fields, medical or not. Mm-hmm. We can look at specifically Adriana Smith. Adriana Smith is a great example, specifically in the state of Georgia, where she was forced to be an incubator for a fetus that was killing her.
What does that have to do with race?
Can you name another example of an Adriana Smith in the United States since Roe v. Wade was overturned, where a white woman was forced to be an incubator for a fetus?
I don't think that's something that happens often enough to compare white versus black.
No, it doesn't happen often enough, and when it does happen for black folks, look what happens.
But then you would have to provide an example of where a white woman was pregnant and in a coma, whatever the case may be, and was allowed, and the baby was
I literally can't. I literally can't. I don't know of another one. That's the point.
An anecdotal situation. Who's to say that the reason why she had to carry the baby to term was because she was black? You would have to give me a case of a white woman that didn't have to deal with that.
You're one of those. Unless they put on a hood and call you. No, I never insulted you. Unless you put on a hood and call that person a dirty nigger and everything else, then it's not racist. You're one of those, aren't you? Let me ask you a question. Does racism have to be intentional?
Does racism have to be intentional?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Does racism have to be intentional? I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I guess right now I would say yes, it would have to be intentional. Yes. Because then how else would you prove that it was motivated by race?
That's the point. That's the point. That's the point of the intention, where something was intentionally done to disparage black people. That's the whole point of the question.
But then
does motivation have to be? Does racism have to be
that
racist?
Was done within the last 50 years that was intentional of causing racial disparities.
I'm sorry. Would you not say the 94 crime bill had some racial undertones in it, specifically with the rhetoric that followed up after it, such as super predators? Or even the cities and states where the enforcement was ramped up by individual police precincts, which were predominantly black and brown?
Right, I hear that, but you also have to look at the crime stats around that time.
Crime stats are irrelevant to treat black people from a lens of higher criminality statistically. That still doesn't justify you perceiving black folks as a threat.
Are you talking about the crime bill itself or the rhetoric around it? What are you talking about? I literally
combined all of it. How the rhetoric surrounding it and the people who sponsored it. No, you don't separate it. The people who literally sponsored this bill and the things that they said alongside their sponsoring or support of the bill, such as super predators, which Hillary Clinton even had to walk back in 2016.
Okay, so Democrats being racist, that's nothing new. But either way, if you want to talk about the necessities and the effect of the crime bill, then you would have to think about the crime statistics that led to it.
Necessities and effect. What I find hysterical, if you're going to now use the statistics, which are mostly in arrests reflected, to say that it warrants the crime bill, What bill has ever been signed or passed into law disparaging the white community, even though they are overrepresented in the majority of crimes?
Are you talking about like per capita, or like when it's adjusted for
Per capita
population? So white people are overrepresented in crime when adjusted for population.
White people commit the majority of crimes in the United States.
Right, because America is a majority white country.
Per capita. Per capita.
You would have to show me that.
So per capita wouldn't be just because they have more people, right? We can even look at the stupid 2019 crime table, and we can literally look on every single chart, except for murder and non-negligent manslaughter. White people were the majority of arrests, but they only focus on black folks because they were 55% of the arrests in that sector.
Okay, so what other crime, when adjusted for population, are white people?
No, I want you to go back to Obama and the fact that you were dead wrong. I want you to substantiate that point and how he encouraged a racial divide simply by saying African boys face discrimination, specifically in the instances of when you're walking past a car and they're locking their doors, you're in the elevator and people clench their pearls and purses because you're there. And you said caused more of a racial divide. That's what you came up here to substantiate.
My point, well, I made 2 points. I said when Obama used that type of rhetoric, right, because it's a subjective experience that he's referring to, right, even though he went ahead and generalized it, which is no way to prove even with what he said based on any stats or anything.
How is it generalized when it was a shared experience by a large portion of black men in the United States?
It's still generalized
when it was reflected in some of the laws or some of the suits that we've seen. How is that? Oh my God.
Because there's no way for you to prove that, right? Because even if you're in an elevator with somebody, right, and they respond in a certain way, you're assuming that it's because of your race. So even if you were to say, "Oh, I got in the elevator and this woman starts,"
if there's no other cause or reason for it. And if it's significant amongst a particular demographic due to the United States teaching Americans that they are uncivilized, that they are criminal, that they are degenerates, that they are everything under the sun, and it's more than likely that it was due to racism. It oftentimes is direct racism. W's in the chat to... Where'd it go? Here we go. Above Infinity for the $5 super chat. Hector, I am not even this woman's favorite turd, but still she insists on trying to shit me when it comes to racism being intentional or not. Why? What? Oh, I got you. I was a little confused at that. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Miss Do and me for the $10 cash app. Johnny had 5. You're talking in circles. Stop. I don't even know. I don't even know. I asked her to do one thing, and now we're sitting here trying to negate racism as a whole, or try to say that it has to be proven without a shadow of a doubt in a criminal court of law. Otherwise, it's not racism. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for her to substantiate how. I'm saying in a criminal court of law, it would have to be proven.
No, I said that based on the statements that Obama made. He's making generalizations that don't have any statistics behind them.
They literally do have statistics behind them. Systemic and systematic racism in the United States does have statistics behind them. I want you to give me another example of Obama stoking racial divide for talking about his experience, which reflects the experience of many black men in the United States.
Even again, your statement is subjective. But what do you say about the fact that the data reflects that racial, I guess Americans' opinions on race relations went in the negative direction after Obama's second term?
What is my opinion? I think he had everything to do with that in the sense of his presence alone. His presence alone, him being black alone, is the reason people felt that way. The fuck?
So why didn't that happen during his first term?
What do you mean, why did it happen during his first term? You only referenced a study that was done in one time. Was the study done in his first term as well?
No. I'm looking at the numbers between his first term and his second term, right?
What are you referencing?
He had greater, I think it's Pew Research data. I'm trying to scroll up to find it, and I cannot find it anymore. It was just here.
Debbie's in the chat to Gucci for the $10 Venmo. Ask her when the birther theory started. Yeah. We'll get to that when she finds her study. W's in the chat to you.
It's not study that I'm looking for. It's Pew Research data that I looked up online that basically showed, okay, where is it?
Oh, I do see this. Obama effigy found hanging from campus tree. Students and school leaders at a small Christian university in Oregon expressed outrage Wednesday after the discovery of a cardboard effigy of Barack Obama hanging from a tree on campus. Oh wow, this was September of 2008. This is before the man even won. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Guys, let's get the likes up to 400K. We're almost there. Double tap the screen. Show the algorithm that you want to be here. I would greatly, 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 greatly appreciate it. Shout out the Live with Defense family as well. Repost and answer your story. Bennett, we're probably wrapping up after this. Also, you can stay on mute when you're not, because your background noise is fucking horrible. Jesus Christ. Oh! I apologize, y'all. These folks got me a little irked, a little bit more irked than I intended to be today during the live. It's tripping me up. I apologize. Debbie's in the chat too. Miss Doing Me for the $3 Cash App. So the Carmelo cover up was just an oops. Well, here's what she's gonna say. Here's what she's gonna say. It was not proven in a court of law that he got 30 years due to his race. I can bring up the instances of, I always forget his name. The dude who was in the town like 60, 75 miles away. The white kid who then went after, who killed that guy in self-defense, even though it showed that he targeted him in the bathroom and everything else, that white kid got 10 years. I can literally bring up that instance, and then she's going to say, well, you'd have to prove that he got less because he was white. That's the issue with all these. You take enough of these cases and you form a goddamn pattern. And then she's going to say that pattern's due to criminality and not racism. Knowing the history of the United States and saying some shit like that is fucking insane. Casey, I don't think that's how you spell it, but I think you got it. Casey, hold on. Let me get his name again. Kaysen Allison. Yeah. That was a white kid who got 10 years, even though the circumstances were vastly different. In a stand your ground state, yeah. That was the one. Oh, shit. Forgot to add this to the pool. Thank you so much, Miss Doing Me. I appreciate you.
Okay. I want to respond to the Carmelo Anthony thing, but I'm not gonna even go down that road because that's gonna be exhausting. Okay. So according to Pew findings, right, this was right after Obama was elected in 2008. About 52% of Americans said his election would improve race relations, right? And then when you go down to mid-Obama years, this is 2013 to 2015. And now this does break it down according to race. Only 28% of Americans said that it was the same. And about 32% of white Americans said that Obama made race relations worse, right? So it seems as if after Obama's second presidency, overall, based on what I'm reading here, and I can't really break it down too much because it's a synopsis of different stats that they're coming together. Americans' opinions on race relations after Obama's second term did take a decline.
I don't care what those opinions were if you and those other Americans can't substantiate how.
Well, I mean, there's no way to completely boil it down to maybe one specific thing that he said, but at the end of the day, the impact of his presidency made race relations worse in this country. Like overall, you can say the same thing about Donald Trump, honestly speaking. But at the end of the day, Obama did not help race relations in this country.
Gucci, did you mean to get in the request? Just double checking. I see you down in there. This has to be one of the most ridiculous arguments I've ever heard in my entire life.
What part of it is ridiculous?
You're saying that he would have instigated racial tensions or encouraged racial tensions solely based off the fact that he commented on racial disparities and was black. That's it. That's the best that you have.
I never see. This is what I'm talking about. You're adding things, right? I never said
what else. Okay, so what is it? Because that's exactly what it is. I'm not saying you said it. I'm saying that's what it is. Him being black and stepping up on the scene, and literally, we saw rhetoric on social medias increase, specifically antagonizing black people. We saw more things like effigies that I just read being hung across Christian universities in the United States. Hate crimes specifically that went up. The birther movement that was started. All this crazy crap happened after he stepped up on the scene. None of it had to do with his merit. None of it had to do with the way he spoke. It all had to do with the fact that he was black. So what are we doing?
Obama was elected in 2008, when he first stepped on the scene, most Americans said that his election would improve race relations. Okay,
you said 52%. You said 52% in the poll that was done.
Right.
And then afterwards, you said that 30-something% said it made it worse.
After his second term, I'm highlighting a specific time. I'm not saying that you're saying that Obama being black was the problem. I'm saying Obama's rhetoric during his second term did not do good for race relations in this country.
His rhetoric was not divisive. Speaking on a racial disparity is not divisive. Is talking about slavery divisive?
No, talking about slavery is not divisive. Because slavery is something that happened. How is that divisive? It happened.
It happened. So when people get uncomfortable, when we bring up racism, whose fault is that? The person who brought it up and the demographic of people that experienced it, or the people who got in their fifis?
Bro, talking about slavery and speaking about something that objectively happened in history versus throwing your subjective opinions and experiences into a conversation.
What was subjective about the Veil of Darkness study?
Two very different
What
things.
was subjective about the Veil of Darkness study?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Veil of Darkness study is where they compared traffic stops amongst black men in the day and traffic stops among black men at night. Do you know what the findings were for that case?
I've heard it, but I forgot. Enlighten me.
Black people got pulled over less at night. The reason why they got pulled over less at night, not based off of them driving less at night or anything of the sort, is because in the day they could be seen in the vehicles. They were visual, where people could perceive them as black, acknowledge that they're black, and then pull them over, versus night, where they were less likely to get pulled over because you couldn't see into the car and tell the race of the individual.
Okay.
Can I just can say a few things? I don't have a lot of time, but the birther theory started in 2007, 2008 when Obama started running. Okay, it didn't start later. Obama didn't start it. White America did. And then you know what happened in Obama's second term that caused like the, I guess, decrease or increase in racial divide? Now, I'm reading from your source too.
Go ahead.
The death of Michael Brown and the death of Freddie Gray. If you read your source, you would see that was why that was pointed out in the graph that you used. Do you know why that caused racial division or an increase in racial division?
Just go ahead and say. Don't just go ahead.
No, this is your source. This is your source.
If you're going to say something about what I said, just say it. Don't just ask me questions. Just say what you want to say.
Oh, you don't know now?
She's literally asking you questions about your own source.
I know. I know exactly where she's leading. I'd rather her just get there instead of trying to have this teachable moment. Just say what you want to say.
Do you know what happened in 2015 also in Obama's second term?
Just say it.
Trump happened. White America happened.
White America
they created the division.
Happened. White America did not create this division.
Oh, wait, no. So who started the birther theory? Was it Obama?
Wasn't it Donald Trump that started it?
Oh, is he white?
So you're gonna base the actions off. So you're gonna generalize an entire race based on the actions of one man.
Oh,
Like,
what were the races of the people who unalived Michael Brown and Freddie Gray and George Floyd and all that?
They were white police officers.
Oh my God, they were white.
So okay, what's your point here, ma'am? You're asking me questions. What's your point?
I mean, like, I'm trying to figure out, because you couldn't answer Hex's question as to, how Obama caused the division.
I literally said his rhetoric. I answered his question.
What rhetoric?
I listed out things that he said.
The further theories did not cause a division.
I also said that you can also attribute the same thing to Donald Trump. What is your point here?
But Donald Trump didn't start the further division.
I'm sorry?
He ran on it, but he didn't start it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, he was like the main person talking about it. White America
in 2007 and 2008.
So you can generalize white America, but when people generalize Black America, it's a problem.
If most of the people who were talking about it and who brought it up were white, I'm sorry. 1 + 1 = 2.
So
I know MAGA math.
How many white Americans were talking about the birther theory? Since you said
most, matter?
It does matter, because if you're going to generalize an entire race of people based on the actions of the
entire division on Obama.
I never said I blamed. I never ever said I blamed. No, I didn't. I never said that I blamed the entire. I said he contributed to it. I never said it was only solely. I literally said at a point in this conversation that it can be boiled down to many factors.
So you're blaming him for his response to the racism.
Because he's the one that responded the way he did. Yes, I'm blaming. I'm attributing Obama's actions to Obama.
What Hector said before, like Black people are not allowed to respond to racism.
What are you talking about?
I mean, he responded to racism, right?
Perceived racism.
Let's go back to what's one example here. Tell me what he was supposed to say. What was he supposed to say about Trayvon Martin that would have contributed to the racial divide?
That would have contributed or would not have contributed to the
racial divide? Because you think everything he said contributed to it. What should he have said that would not contribute to the racial divide?
I mean, there could have been many things that he could have said that would not have contributed
Go ahead.
to the racial
Floor is
divide.
yours.
He could have said it was a tragedy, in which it was, right? But at the end of the day, as Americans, we're supposed to come together and not start gnawing at each other based on race.
Got you. He should have only said it was a tragedy.
And he could have said more than that, but I think that would have been a good start.
So he could have only said it's a tragedy, or said I'm not finished, or said more about the topic, so long as he didn't bring up some African American experiences, right?
No, so long as he did not insert race or racial bias, or
so long as he didn't insert race into it. So literally going back to what the fuck I said, where Black people cannot speak on behalf of their race and shared experiences that they have at all. That's literally going back to my point. You keep dancing around the fact that that's what you're asking for. Any conversation where someone brings up race and racial disparities is frowned upon and will encourage racism. You know what? I don't give a fuck what you said. That's literally what you're implying. I'm so sick and tired of you fucking coons and jigaboos spreading white supremacy in indirect words and then saying, well, that's not what I'm implying. What the fuck else would you be implying? What the fuck else would you be implying? Any racial conversation that a Black person has talking about said disparities, you said would cause a racial divide.
Oh my God,
I literally asked you to give me an example of something you can say that would not have stoked racial divide. You said he could have said it was a tragedy. He could have talked about other things. He could have talked about the family. The only factor that he could not have talked about, which would have contributed to the racial divide, is bringing up his race.
Right, but
literally what you keep saying, and you keep walking it back.
I'm not walking anything
back.
Yes,
you are. Yes, you are.
Can I are you gonna yell? Can I respond?
Also, regardless
can I respond to what he said first before?
Regardless of his response.
Can I respond?
Regardless of Obama's response, the racial divide was already there.
Thank you, Gucci. That's a fantastic point.
The racial divide was already there.
That's an exceptional point. No matter what Obama did, no matter what he said, no matter how he lived, it was there. So him stoking up some more racism from fucking racists for telling the goddamn truth is in no way, shape, or form an insult or an L for Obama. That's the fucking problem with you guys. I love how you guys say, I love Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump because he says it how he is. He speaks his mind. God forbid a nigga does it, talking about nigga shit, and now it's bad. Now you need to keep it in your place. Now you need to keep it in your place. You can't be talking about that racial stuff. Slavery ended forever ago. Why are you bringing up racial stuff?
How many presidents have their birthplace been questioned, LaShawn?
I'm not answering any of your silly questions. Just say what you want to say.
Okay. So Obama, being the only Black president we've had so far, has been the only one whose birthplace has been questioned. That's not divisive to you. He had no right to feel any kind of way about the racism he experienced. He just had to shut up about it.
Oh my God. Is it okay for me to respond to what you said earlier?
I asked you questions. Respond.
I'm not answering your questions, ma'am. Just say what you want to say. Can I respond to what Hector said earlier about adding on to me? You're basically insinuating that the reason why I don't like the fact that Obama said what he said.
Tell me how Black people.
Is not at all what I said.
You have one chance to tell me how Black people can talk about race relations and their experiences shared with the history of the United States without it being racist or stoking racial divide.
I'm not that your question has no basis in anything that I said, so I'm not going to answer it.
You know what? I would.
It literally does. I just need you to answer. How can a Black person talk about racial disparities without stoking racial divide?
Black people, there's plenty of ways for people to talk.
Cool.
About
Give me an example. Go ahead. Come on. Give me an example.
We're talking about it right now. I don't think we're stoking racial divide.
Girl.
Like I was saying before, even if Obama was white and said the things that he said, I would have still had an issue with it, okay?
Some of these people are fucking lost. Some of these people are fucking lost. What do you say to that? What do you say to that? Legitimate question, guys. What can I possibly say to that? Which ones did I miss here?
But thank you for letting me come up.
Thank you, Gucci. I appreciate you. Shout out to Gucci. Debbie's in the chat to Dean for the 5. She's unbelievably disingenuous. Why is she caping so hard for the racists? She's got to go. Debbie's in the chat to... I thought I read this one. Did it? So the Carmelo cover-up was just a oops. Okay, I did read that one. Another W for Miss You and Me for the 10. Keep Barack out your damn mouth, Will Smith. W's to you. Another W's in the chat for Colleen for the $5 kick fund for the ignorant woman. W's in the chat to Shauna for the $2. Please no more. W's in the chat to Tana. I think it's Tana for the $5 Cash App. Guess sucks. And W's in the chat to Miss Do and Me for the $2 Venmo Cash App. Let the record show she likes pedos, racists, and another $1 to say misogynistic bitches. God damn. Just the messenger. I'm just the messenger. I'm just a messenger. Thank you guys for the follows. So the entire conversation, maybe not so much on TikTok, but I'm reading the comments over here on YouTube of white people getting upset, of white people getting pissed off at my contentions with the rhetoric that Obama stoked racial divide, more of a racial divide in the United States.
Call from.
Call you on the line, hold for a moment. I'm literally reading the comments of white people going off, of white people agreeing with what she said, of white people saying It's because of his defense for this, and he was a BLM supporter, and all this other stupid shit. Literally, the comments are going off of white people acting a fool because of the conversation that we're having. Also, it was contradictory of her to say that we're having a conversation about racial stuff without stoking racial tensions. But then everything that I was saying was even more aggressive than what Obama said. Obama, this shit was light. This shit was light work. I'm going to read these quotes again. That all contributes to a sense of that if a white male teen was involved in the same kind of scenario, both the outcome and the aftermath might have been different. He didn't even say it would have been, which is proven in the average case. He said might have been. When Trayvon Martin was first shot, I said that this could have been my son. Another way of saying that is Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago. There are very few African American men who haven't had the experience of walking across the street and hearing the locks click on the doors of cars. There are very few African Americans who haven't had the experience of getting on an elevator and a woman clutching her purse nervously and holding her breath until she has a chance to get off. Even if you were to complain about the number, even if you say, well, it wasn't very few, it's more than a very few, that's still a shared experience amongst black people. A large group of us, an uncomfortably large group of us. Now what? Now we're just going to blame those black men? Maybe it was because your pants were sagging. Maybe it's because you should have taken that hoodie off. You should have complied, right? Right? Where's the lie? All I see is a man telling the goddamn truth or pointing out an issue in the United States that people often ignore, and you're saying that, amongst other comments alone, cause more white people to be hateful or resentful towards blacks. Black people. Yeah, I hate blacks. It sounded weird. Thank you guys for getting up to 400K. I would love to end on 500. This may be our last caller. If we can double tap the screen one last good time and we can get the likes up to 500K, I would greatly appreciate it. Also knock out the journeys. Let's also knock out the journeys. We have 80 more of those to go. And of course, best way to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio. Follow the social medias, join the Discord community, donate directly if you can. YouTube, super chat, super sticker, hit the like button. Caller on the line, did you vote for Trump?
I didn't. We had a conversation earlier. You were asking me to call back, man.
Oh.
God bless you.
Yeah. This is you.
Yeah, I had to take a kid to a sport, man.
Okay.
But
God bless you.
Got you.
Hey, but I'm glad I called back at this time for this portion of your live stream.
Do you remember where we left off?
We left off on something that was pretty basic, man. I don't even know if we should get back into it, talking about what's considered stupid and blah, blah, blah. I'd rather stick where you're at right now on this, because it kind of goes with...
This is the guy who called back earlier. He keeps calling regularly, saying the most stupid shit. I put up the permaban for him, and we had $30 goes towards the permaban. For $70 more, I will never have to hear from this fucking guy again. And those of you who don't know who he is, you're about to find out. Watch this. Cool. So where we last left off was me explaining to you that not voting and then complaining about things like Stephen Miller being headed over how they treat disabled folks, which I think that's actually RFK and HHS or whatever, is stupid. It is stupid to complain about your car not going anywhere because it has no gas in it, and then you're not putting gas in it. It is stupid to complain about something that you have the ability to influence, directly impact, or just straight up change. That's how votes work. If I have an issue with how much money is taking out of my taxes compared to the 1% and the breaks that they get, I then vote for the candidate who actually reflects that sentiment on the stage of Congress or the Senate or the governor or the president, and I vote for that person who's going to impact that issue that I have a concern of. If I have an issue with affordability in the United States, I'm going to vote for the person who has the better platform on lowering those costs. If I have an issue with how the United States handles our foreign affairs, specifically the warmongering, I'm going to vote for the person who's less likely to be warmongers, because it takes nothing for me to go to the polls and vote for that thing. Whether it actually happens or not, or the needle even moves or not, it takes nothing to me for a vote on behalf of my values and how they could have, if passed, if implemented, if even started on, will positively impact my life and the lives of the people I care about and the lives of the average American. You're saying I don't like these two things or these two people, so I'm just not going to vote at all, even if they have policies that benefit my life. That makes no fucking sense.
All right. Well, I didn't feel that either party had policies that was going to benefit my life.
You don't know what the other party's policies were.
What's that?
You don't know what the other party's policies were.
I listen to both parties. I pay attention to both parties.
Can you name one policy from the Democratic Party candidate in 2024? Her new family policy with helping new families start homes or whatnot, whatever. I know vaguely. Everything's kind of vague, but I know something. Literally the point that I'm trying to make.
Well, the thing is, like I said, I believe that we're seeing it right in front of us. With Trump, things got yanked hard to the right. When we get a Democratic presidency in, I'm hoping not.
I'm so over you fucking pivoting. I am so over you fucking pivoting, my guy. I asked you to name a Kamala Harris policy because you said you saw nothing on her side that would have benefited you.
Okay, yeah. I just told you one. I just told you one of her policies. Did I not?
No, you didn't.
Okay. Okay.
You said new family policy. That wasn't a policy of hers.
Yeah, what she was gonna do as far as helping people with new families. That's how she.
Thank you, Colleen. Helping people with new families. You'd be referencing a $6,000 child tax credit for the first year of a child's life.
I was talking about the housing. She was talking about making housing affordable for new families. That's the policy I
would have benefited new families. It wasn't necessarily a new family initiative. She had several plans to do so.
That's how she worded it, not me.
Again, mentioning that it's for or mentioning new families isn't making it exclusive for new families.
Okay, well that's how she worded it. See,
cool. What's wrong with that policy and how would that not benefit you?
The way that they received the word, but we're not upset with who gave the message.
Well, if you misunderstand the goddamn message, that's a you problem.
I'm quoting her.
It's literally what you just did. Regardless, I'm not asking for you to quote how it would have impacted new families. I'm asking you to tell me how that policy was bad or wouldn't have impacted you or the people around you.
No, you asked how would it impact me. You didn't. Now you throwing in the people around me. You said me.
Sure, I asked you, but also I would argue if you care about people, you would also vote for things that may not directly impact you, but it would positively impact them. Because why the fuck not? But sure, you can talk about you. Do you own a home?
Yes.
Okay. So then you would not have benefited from that because you don't need a new home.
Exactly.
But if you chose to buy a second home, all of her policies would have helped you. Or just about all of them.
Now, are we going to ignore the fact, though? I mean, and I'm not trying to, I want to keep it kosher, but are we really going to ignore the fact of how Biden's thing, how his presidency
Biden wasn't on the 2024 ticket.
Wasn't going to be.
Biden wasn't on the 2024 ticket. There's nothing to ignore. You're bringing up something irrelevant, and then you especially don't know what Biden did. You literally don't know what Obama did.
We're hoping that everybody sees how bad Trump is doing so we can go to the other side. We're doing it right now, but we're not going to look at that.
What's there to look at?
But we can't look at that.
What's there to look at?
I mean, a lot of people didn't agree with the way that the country was going under Biden.
I didn't ask about a lot of people. What was your contention? What was your contention? This is about you.
All right,
what was
so now
your
it's not
contention?
about the people around me. It's back to just me. Okay,
I can't answer for the people around you. I'm not doing that.
Okay,
I'm not having a broad-ass conversation. We're talking about you.
Let's keep it with just me. All right, let's just keep it with just me then.
Oh my God.
Okay. I didn't really, I didn't feel like he, I don't know, he did, I mean, just honestly, from the things that I've seen, and when he was on TV, he did a lot of stuttering. It looked like he was lost at times. And you said
you didn't agree with where the country is going, and you brought up appearances.
The rest of the Democratic Party started saying the same thing.
You brought up the direction of the country, where the country was going, and you started responding
under his
with
leadership.
how he looked. Tell me what the policy is. Thank you, Damon. Thank you so much. I appreciate that acknowledgement. Thank you so much, Damon. I appreciate that acknowledgement, because this is the 5th conversation I've had with this fucking individual on the same goddamn topic. Back to you. I need you to tell me what your issue was with the direction of this country, which would reflect policies, directives, and not so much appearances.
That wasn't what our other conversations was about. But to stay on this subject,
literally was. Every single time you call and you talk about how you did not vote and you didn't see the point of it.
You got all bent out of shape.
My guy, we've had 4 or 5 conversations. We did not talk about reparations every fucking time.
Every single time, yes, we did. Yes,
tell me your issue with the direction of this country. Tell me the issue with the direction of this country under Biden.
Well, we felt like a lot. Well, me. I'm not even gonna say we. I felt like a lot of countries was not respecting us.
I asked you about the direction, and you gave me your feelings.
Man, you doing a lot of cussing. You giving us a lot of your feelings, and now you worried about somebody that can,
I'm giving you points
without cussing.
I'm giving you points as I cuss. I'm giving you points as I cuss, you fucking moron. I'm not telling you, I feel like Donald Trump is not good. I feel like he's bringing up prices. I'm literally telling you how he is. I'm literally telling you Kamala Harris's policies. I feel like Kamala Harris was going to create a policy to build 3 million new homes by the end of her first term and actively increase the supply, which would then help with the demand and lowering the cost of homes on the market. That's not a feeling. That's literally her campaign policy. That was literally on her platform. Miss me with this stupid shit. I don't give a fuck how you feel about cussing, my guy. I've been asking you for quite some time to tell me what your issue was with the direction of the United States under the Biden administration, and you have been able to give me fuck all.
People thought we were a pushover. Do you not comprehend that?
Give me an example of how or why people thought we were a pushover.
It seems like you're not comprehending. People thought that our country was weak. All right, that didn't work either. Let me rephrase this again.
What?
People.
Based off of what?
And then when Trump, now I will give him that. I don't like a lot about Trump, but I will say when Trump got into office, a lot of countries got in line. I will say that.
How?
How what?
Oh my God.
How did they get in line? Or how what? What are you asking? How?
W's in the chat for the Phil for the for the $5 Venmo for the B train, but he also means first generation and first time homeowners, not new family. That's correct. W's in the chat to Valerie for the $30. Shut the fuck up! For the $30 PayPal. $30 PayPal. Permaban. W's in the chat to Gucci for the $1 Venmo for the dollar train. W's in the chat to Mike for the $10 Venmo. No, 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 no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell to the motherfucking no. Get the fuck out of here. W's in the chat to Mike. W's in the chat to Amber for the $15 Venmo. Please shut this stupid fuck up. W's in the chat to Jessica for the $5 for the P-Band. W's to you guys. I appreciate your support.
It is so hard to side with people that talk like that. That's why another reason I can't vote. I can't
Thank you,
side
Julia.
with people
Thank
with
you for
that
the
kind of
galaxy. Thank you
mentality.
for the bouquet.
With that kind of temperament.
Trump also doesn't like smart
with
people.
that.
Trump also doesn't like smart people. You and Trump have something in common. Look at that.
I mean, cussing don't make you smart. It definitely don't.
Who the fuck said cussing makes you smart?
All right, well, yeah, it shows the other side, not the smart side. It doesn't show any intelligence.
No, it doesn't.
And a lot of people don't.
You know what's
Trump,
so
but at the
crazy?
same time,
You know what's so crazy about every single time you call into this line? You know what's so crazy about every single time you say that all the cussing that I'm displaying is an indicator of my lack of intelligence? Is that you don't cuss and you've said nothing but stupid shit this entire conversation. All you do is call in time and time and time and time again and show how uneducated you are. And because you don't say a single cuss word, you think that puts you above me in intelligence. That's the crazy fucking thing about it. You can sit up here and say 2 + 2 = 7, and because you didn't say fuck, that means you're smarter than someone else.
It does.
Studies show that smart people cuss more. The only reason I don't cite that study, guys, is because I haven't read into it specifically. I just haven't read it specifically. I think it's irrelevant. I'm not doubting what you guys are saying. I just think it's irrelevant. If someone is saying, explaining something and they're explaining it with cuss words, that doesn't take away from the intelligence that they're showing in the topic that they're versed in. It's a stupid thing, and it's a scapegoat. It's a fucking scapegoat. It's a goddamn cop-out. It's a goddamn cop-out.
Y'all should love Trump because you talk just like him. Y'all should love him.
Caller?
I'm just saying, y'all should love him. Y'all speak the same language.
I think you're a really stupid fucking person. I'm tired of having to tell you time and time again how fucking stupid you are. Yeah, it is something Trump would say. Trump calls everyone who disagrees with him stupid. I'm calling people who say stupid shit stupid. And you know what's even worse? You're a black man. You're a stupid fucking black person. I find it crazy that in the age of information and Google and everything else in 2026 and more access that we have to certain trades or college courses or community college, blah, blah, blah. I find it crazy that black men in 2026 continue to be as fucking stupid as you are willfully. I think that's embarrassment. I think that's disrespectful to your ancestors, nigga. I think it's disrespectful to your ancestors every single time you call into these lines and show all the reasons why Harriet Tubman would have left you behind. I think it's fucking disrespectful to the black community when you call in and show all the fucking reasons why you, my friend, are a small portion of the population who doesn't understand the goddamn assignment. I think you're an embarrassment. You're an absolute embarrassment.
The assignment. Understand the assignment. What's the assignment that we're supposed to do the work of?
To not be a stupid nigga.
I thought politicians work for us.
You're a stupid nigga. I just want to let you know.
Shouldn't the politicians get the?
You're a really stupid nigga.
Get the assignment? Make sure they get the assignment.
You're embarrassingly stupid. And I think it's okay to call people stupid.
Yeah, that's fine. It's America. It's a free country.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm glad you...
I mean, according to you, it's okay to call white people pale faces. It's okay to call black people niggas. But then we talk about the Republican Party as racist.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's correct. That's you.
That's wild.
Yep.
God bless you.
That's the last we'll hear of that guy. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone who contributed to the drop pool. Shout out to everyone who contributed to the drop pool. Or the permaban, excuse me. That's the last we're going to hear from that guy. So guys, I have a rule. And the rule is, if I don't have to, I choose not to engage with the same people over and over and over again. I think it's one of the most Let me watch how I word this. I understand why creators do it. I understand having the open platform for conversations. But to me, I think there's only so much you should beat a dead horse, especially when that dead horse is spreading very gross, harmful, detrimental things, particularly on certain groups of people, or even about our election processes. I think at some point in time, creators should have some accountability for the people that they platform and the shit that they allow them to say. Now, this is not to knock certain folks and how they do things. You guys will see me occasionally go back and forth with certain people, mostly to get the chat riled up, to get new people to call in. That's the reason why I do it. But if I had my way, every single person I've ever spoken to in the past who chooses to stand on the same stupid shit would never be discussed with again, because there's no point. There's some people who literally just do this shit for sport. John Stone is one of them. John Stone right here is one of those people who will never change his mind. He is a religious zealot, an absolute bigot, and he shows very little to next to no signs of intelligence.
Well, that's not a very nice thing to say. Look, this is all my personal opinion. I think the left is crazy, insane. I despise the left. That's why I like debating you people, because it's just, I think you're destroying Western civilization. I really do.
I don't care about what you think.
Actually,
he also has a tendency to come up on platforms and talk about his feelings versus what Donald Trump and the left actually does.
Well, you see, this is a problem. We can't. You would probably, if you think things like Antifa is just an idea, or that the rioting and looting during C-19.
Can you give me any evidence of Antifa and an organization that champions it to the degree that they would, say, Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, or otherwise?
Okay, Antifa, we see that they're rioting and causing all kinds of trouble in places like Portland and outside ICE detention centers.
I asked you to give me evidence that ties Antifa, the sentiment, to a group, an organization, to the degree of the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, and other domestic terrorism.
Yeah, dude, there was actually a President Trump had a discussion with like several people. One of them was Andy Nogo, I think is how you say his name. And again, look, man, this is all my personal opinion. If you just pull up, he talks a lot about Antifa.
I'm over y'all's personal opinions today. I'm over y'all's personal opinions today. Your opinions mean fuck all to me. When we start to open platforms and have conversations about your fifis, I'll let you know. I'll put it up on a banner. Thank you, Julia, for becoming a super fan. I appreciate you. We're gonna change it to Fifi Live. Or better yet, I'm just gonna do Defend Indefensible, parentheses, with fifis. I think we should do that. I think one day I should just host an entire live, Defend the Indefensible, parentheses, with fifis. And I'll allow you to spread your fifis up and down the goddamn live. It's the only day where I won't ask you for sources. It's the only day I won't ask you to prove anything. I'm just going to say, tell me about your fifis. Tell me why you think the left is persecuting you. And I also want to let you guys know, the day you ever see me host that live, I've completely lost my fucking mind. You have my permission to break into my house, take me to a pool, and drop me in it. I'm not going to tell you that I can't swim. I'm just going to say that I don't float. Alrighty, so I think we're gonna go bug Erica. We're gonna go bug Erica. Actually, no, we're gonna bug Ari. We're gonna bug Ari because Ari is live. Ari, ooh, you guys want to be here. So YouTube, I set your live to redirect to Ari's. She's doing a deep dive into conservative MAGA women's thinking, which I find fascinating. Every now and then when we get a conservative woman, I find their rhetoric, I find their positions to be fucking fascinating. So that's who I'm going to set the live to raid. I am missing two. I think I missed two super chats. Here's one. W's in the chat to the one mighty pen for the $2 super chat. Ew, Hector, that's gross. Fifi's all over the live. That's mostly what they do now anyway. I missed one super chat. Give me a second to find it, and I'll read it before we end the stream. Stacy, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Democrats are not far left. Be real. One of my favorite things to do when they come up and they'll say, "Oh, I can't stand the socialist, communist, Marxist, blah blah blah, Democrats, blah blah blah. I can never vote for them because of supporting for that party." One of my favorite responses to give them, I said, "Hey, me too. I agree with you. That's why I vote Democrat." If Marxism, communism, socialism is your concern with the Democratic Party, you should continue to vote for them because they hate that shit too. Glitchy? Is it glitchy? I don't know why it's glitching. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure what happened. Studio did update today, by the way. So that's probably why. It did update today. So I'm not sure why it's being weird. It's TikTok. It's definitely TikTok. Studio updated today. So I don't know. Anyway, if all those things are a concern for you, you should continue to vote Democrat because they don't support it either. The majority of the party does not support it. We're literally looking at them talking shit and condemning the Democratic Socialists, specifically in New York, who are sweeping races. I'm just saying.
I just came up to make it stop.
Is it only glitching when people drop?
Yeah, I'll drop and see if it happens again, but it was literally doing a two-step. Hi.
That's weird. Thank you. W's in the chat to Stacy for the $1.99 super chat. Keep Portland out of your mouth. Yeah, they stay on Portland. Portland, Chicago, New York, LA. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. YouTube, we're going to call it here. It's going to automatically take you to Ari's live. I appreciate every last one of you for the likes, the shares, the comments, the super chats, super subscriptions, and the memberships. Big W's to you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow.